Hello, and good evening. It's good to be back. How's everyone doing? Hey, Brian Stevens, hello. Doug, hello, and how are you? Doug, have you moved yet, or are you still in Norfolk? Is that still what's happening? Doug, let's know. Steve McRae, manager, good to see you here. Brian Stevens, hello. Okay, guys, I know some of you are fed up of G-Man, but I like Lady Aven. I do. The atheist lady, and her husband, who's we're going to be reviewing the video. I will put the link to her channel in the chat, so please go subscribe. She definitely could do with this subscription. She could do with upping her sub levels. So, Gary, G-Man. Now, saying that, let me show you what G-Man came the other day. Just 1 second. Let me see if I can find that picture. I think I took a screenshot of the is that the one? Is it this one? Ah, right. That's the one. Okay. So here we go. Let me show you share. Just 1 second. Share screen. Show you the conversation that we had. Oh, what am I doing? Well, not a conversation. It was a back and forth. Let's see. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see this video here. No video. What am I saying? I doubt you can see this. Oh, gosh. Don't know if you guys can see this. Right, here we go. So G-Man says. So one of my, hey, M6V6, Cyclops, you've changed your name? Sexy heathens. Hello, good to see. Look at the trees. Hello, good to see you. G-Man again. I know, dog. I know, I get the sentiment, but hey, we've got Lady Aven, okay? So that's the good thing about this is we have Lady Aven and her husband. These are two people that I like and I adore, okay? So I get the sentiment. I get it. Hey, still in Norfolk. Okay, right. SS obsessed. I'm not sure about. Okay, obsessed. I don't know about that. But hey, hello, Phil.
Hi. I'll be
Good
right
to.
back. Just gotta get my
Okay,
fan.
okay, no worries. So anyway, this is a So G-Man came and said, "Stay in your lane, woman." Because it was a stream I did about him getting destroyed by the Black Hebrew Israelites. And G-Man says, stay in your lane. I didn't get destroyed. Build up. I didn't get destroyed. Build up your vocabulary. I got gish galloped. Starts his sentence with a small letter. Somewhere in the middle is a capital letter. This is all over the place. So he's telling me to build up my vocabulary. But look at starts a sentence with a capital letter. Here, I didn't get destroyed. Build up. I didn't get destroyed. No commas, no nothing. Just build up your vocabulary, right? I guess it says, I guess this is what happens when it takes you 40 years to think. And this is where G-Man is nothing but a liar. He's nothing but a liar. That's all he does. When G-Man opens his mouth, he is lying. Now, G-Man says, when I said that I left Christianity at the age of 40, G-Man said I started to think at the age of 40. Never said such a thing. But G-Man, because he's G-Man, and because he's such a vile person and wants to hurt people, he wants to say things to people that would get them really, really angry and hurt. So he wants to say things that he thinks in his small mind would upset me. But it doesn't. Because if you're saying that living Christianity means thinking, then everyone who's a Christian isn't thinking. So G-Man, look, this what you're accusing me of works against you, because if living Christianity, you say I started to think at this age, then unfortunately all Christians do not think. All Christians are unthinking people. They have not got the ability to think because they're still in that religion. So anyway, I replied by saying, I said, you are nothing but a dirty, filthy liar. You know, I never said no such thing. I was 40 years old when I left Christianity, but you choose to lie against me. Remember what your scripture says about liars. Quoted his scriptures for him. Revelations 21, verse 8, King James Version says, but the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars, all, not some liars. So Gary, otherwise known as G-Man, shall have his lake in the shall have his part in the lake that burns with fire and brimstone. So I said, keep on lying about me and get ready to burn in the hell that your God has created for you for all eternity, you bloody stinking liar. So congratulations, G-Man. You're definitely going to hell. Definitely. If there is such a thing as the Christian hell, oh wow, you have an automatic pass because you lie. He lies about child abuse. He lies about all sorts of things. So I'm actually very, very glad that his scripture has is God's allowance, and it tells you what's going to happen to liars like G-Man. So yes, now we need to. How's everyone doing this evening? Esther's going in. Yes, I've got to go in. So G-Man had a conversation with a lady and the husband. And G-Man, being G-Man, G-Man doesn't know how to have conversations. G-Man doesn't know how to conduct himself. G-Man is a nuisance. He's a nuisance to Christianity. He's a nuisance to himself. Someone who's been hit by 4 cars already, right? Just goes to show what sort of person we're dealing with. But this is somebody who claims to be speaking for Christianity, but somehow I would show you when he has conversations with atheists how he conducts himself. And just to have a look at, if you were the one listening to someone speak like this and they were trying to convert you to Christianity, would you want to believe in Jesus? You tell Jesus to just go to hell. Jesus and G-Man, you tell them go to hell. Because look at the person you're choosing to represent you. Well, I'll let Phil say something so I'm not coming across as an angry.
Angry. No, it gets me angry too. Because when you show you're talking there about scriptures about liars and so on, and we know the man is one of the biggest liars.
Oh
True.
yes,
I was
he's
saying, oh, that applies to G-Man.
absolutely. Let him carry on lying. Let him carry on. I honestly, the more he lies, the more I think to myself, look, because in his religion, in
Mhm.
this religion of Christianity, all sins are equal.
Mm-hmm.
All sins are equal. So even if you tell a small little white lie
Yep.
and you're the LGBT
Mm-hmm.
whatever sin, they're all one and the same as far as his G-man's God and G-man's Jesus are concerned. They're all going to hell. Everyone is. So G-man, congratulations. You have got yourself a one-way ticket to hellfire. Congrats.
Mm-hmm.
Keep lying.
Wow.
Ian
Mm-mm.
Davenport, hello. Good to see you. Teal, good to see you. Khalifa, hello. Khalifa's here too. Let's see who else. Oh, Donobhead, hello.
I
If you
don't
lie
know.
against, if you lie against someone else, isn't that called spooning? What? What is
Spooning?
spooning?
I don't know about that one. I
Knife,
never heard that
knife,
before.
knifing. What about knifing and forking? No, because if you have spooning, you must have knifing and you must
Knife
have
and fork and
forking.
yeah.
Now, I didn't say Fucking. No, I said Forking. Forking. Like a fork.
Mm.
All right, let's go and see. Oh, look, Sir Little Wolf, of course. Sir Little Wolf, how are
No.
you today? Sir Little Wolf loves spooning. Well, I hope someone would tell me what spooning means at some
Yep.
point.
I would love to know too.
Exactly. What's spooning? What are
What
we
is
spooning?
spooning?
So we must spoon and we must knife and we must fork. Spooning. Don't be too hard on G-Man. He's unwittingly working for eight.
Mm.
Mm. He is a good representative for Christianity. So yes, I I will champion G-Man for the cause. Yes, keep speaking. Okay, let's get in. Right, here we go. So, guys, I will put the link to Lady Aven's channel in the chat. She's an atheist.
Mhm.
She's, she does streams, talking about a wide range of subjects. And she decided to have a conversation with Gma. Oh my goodness. Okay, here. So let me do this. And yeah, let's get started.
Hello, everyone. How are you? G-Man and my husband, Comrade Aven, are backstage. So we're just going to do a quick little intro. Hi, guys. How are you? I know it's been a really long time since I've done a stream. Life has been incredibly busy with all our immigration stuff, which is coming to a close hopefully very soon on September the 12th. And hopefully after that, once the move is all completed, I can get back to streaming on a regular basis. However, I was watching one of Dragnot streams a couple of days ago, I think, where he was talking about G-Man. And G-Man had said in the video that Drag was reviewing that he was open to talking to atheists about our atheism. We had to meet a couple of stipulations.
Okay.
One of them was being messaging him on Skype. So through that video, I was able to get G-Man's Skype name, and we did have a conversation today, and we did cover some topics. And at the end of the conversation, I offered G-Man to come on the stream and come and talk further about some of the things that we had talked about in our text conversation. And yeah, he's here to join us. So I'm going to add my husband and G-Man to the stream here. 1 second. It's been a while. Hello, husband. How are you?
I am good. I didn't realize you had added
Your sound and everything is all working?
I believe so. It seems to be.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. So are you prepared to talk about the atheism with G-Man? You don't really know much about G-Man, do you?
I know a little bit about him, but I need to prepare myself. Hold on. I think we got this.
Oh, you're going to be drinking. Okay. I can't turn my camera on simply because I'm on rural internet. I don't have the bandwidth to have my camera on, which will be something that is rectified when I'm in Pennsylvania in a month or two. So for now, I have to stay off camera. But there's my husband. All right, we're going to add G-Man into the stream, and we can get down to the nitty-gritty of what we were going to talk about today.
Okay, Lady Aven is actually live, right now, and I was in the chat, but unfortunately, I'd already set this stream. It's really absolutely crazy, but yeah, I've put the link to her channel in the chat, so please do subscribe to her. And if you want to go over there and watch, we absolutely fine. We will still be here for some time. We're going to be here for some time, right, Philip? Is Philip still there? Philip, you there?
Yeah. Sorry, I had the
Right.
thing muted. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, by the way, what we're talking about spooning here? Spooning is when you lie down with your others and snuggle. Sexual position, lying with backside to the man's. That I don't mind doing that. So you lie backside to the man. Yeah, that's good. Oh, hang on. You lie with your backside to the man. So where's he facing? He's facing the opposite direction, or he's facing your direction.
Mm.
If he's facing into you and you're
Who's
backing
facing
him,
you?
that's just an invite. That's an invite, and no. You can keep that to yourself. No spooning for me. No thanks. So that's when some people would they think that
It's
it's
the
the
doggy
opportunity
style.
to just get on and coming
It's
from the
doggy
back.
style.
They're coming from the back, yeah. Okay,
It's
let's
called
carry on.
doggy style.
Doggy style indeed. What's dog saying? Dog saying bum in the man's.
What's the dog saying? Bum in the man's
Okay,
groin.
you already subbed.
Oh,
Hey Robert X, good to see you. Spooning is very fun because you get here we go. Here we go. I knew it. Easy access. That's why Sir Little Wolves loves spooning because see, easier. It's an open invite. Just here. Come on in.
Come on in.
Bomb in the man's
Man's
groin.
groin.
It's not really anything official. Is it not? Okay, right. Spooning demon. Right. There might be spooning
Ah,
demons. T-Lex, we need to find these spooning demons because there
oh
are
gosh.
oral sex demons. So
Oh yeah.
if there are oral sex demons, there must be spooning demons. That's a given.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
That's a
given.
good point.
That's right. Okay. Whew.
Mm.
Spooning. I actually know it by something completely different. Not
Mm-hmm.
spooning. Who comes up with these names?
I know as
Who
doggy
comes up
style.
with who comes up with these? What's
I
spooning?
don't. I To me that just still even doesn't compute. Well,
Huh?
with a spoon. With a spoon.
Exactly. How is it?
Hmm.
Now I'm trying to just think of a spoon in my head. Anyway, never mind. Let's carry on. Jeez, spoons.
There we go. Hello, G-Man. Thanks for joining us.
Her husband had to get himself a drink first before he started. I don't
Oh my
blame the man.
gosh.
Not be able to hear us yet.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, there you go. All right, so
I might sound a little
we had
bit
talked.
choppy because I have a fan in the background. So just let me know if I sound choppy.
No, you sound good on my end, husband. Can you hear him okay?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, awesome, wonderful. All right, so I'm just going to quickly pull up our conversation from earlier because we had discussed we covered a whole lot of topics when it comes to atheism today. Was there anything in particular that you wanted to start the conversation off with, G-Man?
No, it's better that you lead and talk about the conversation because I felt like when we talked on Skype, well, when we text on Skype, because we didn't really talk, that we was kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm. So basically our conversation started off where I described my atheism to you and why I was an atheist to begin with. So I just briefly went over that I was raised without religion, that I did briefly explore Christianity by going to church and doing a number of things. I was in like a new believers class. I had one-on-one meetings with a pastor. I was assigned, church mentors. I was given a Bible. So, I mean, I did have a lot of resources provided to me to kind of explore Christianity. But ultimately, in the end, I still was not convinced. And I stopped going to church because I felt like I was defrauding the people that I was with, that whole community, by basically pretending to believe. And since then, I've kind of explored a lot into religion, also different religions, Islam in particular. And I'm still, 2.5 years later, have not been presented with anything that has convinced me that a God is real.
See, that's
Now,
the difference. And this is what I was trying to tell you. This is what I was trying to tell you on Skype. There's a big difference.
Okay, so listening to that
Big
story,
difference.
listening to Lady Aven's story, hers is completely different from mine. I had no choice in being a Christian. We were born Christians, right? I mean, my name alone is
Yeah.
enough evidence to tell you. I'm named after one of the two women in the Bible, right? Because my parents, they were Christians. And I told my mom I didn't like my name. My mom said, well, because we're Christians, that's why we decided on that name for you. So, well, I mean, but then I had to Christianity became a belief system that I found myself in it. And the expectation was to carry on in this religion. Didn't know any different, there was just nothing else. And you were told that anyone who believes different, they've got the wrong religion, let alone people who don't even believe at all. Honestly, I did not know there were people like that were called atheists. I had no clue what atheism was, because I thought that everyone had a belief in something. And that if you had a belief in something, if you didn't believe in Christianity, then you've got the wrong belief system. That's what I thought. So when I started to discover about atheism, I thought, whoa, so there are people who don't believe. And so, I started the questioning. I started, and here I am today. I identify as an atheist now, because there really was there was hardly any evidence. No evidence at all. In fact, don't let me say hardly any evidence. No evidence at all for the claims of Christianity. Right, Phil?
Yeah. None. And the evidence that they love to present are anecdotes.
Anecdotal.
That is
Hey, Mrs.
anecdotal.
Parker.
Can't any religion to use those same anecdotes. And still you got you're nobody's as to whether or not a God exists.
Hey,
And
Mrs. Parker.
I keep saying telling them you cannot be using anecdotes for an invisible creature that nobody has ever seen, have not truly heard, right? You can't use those anecdotes just saying, oh, my prayers were answered, so therefore God. That is incredulity. Or that, oh, I can't explain this happening. Basically, that's what it is. I can't explain this happening, so hence God.
Yeah, so God. We just insert God in there.
You just insert God.
Hey, Mrs. Parker. Mrs. Parker's here. Hey, Rion. Rion's here too. Okay, so now Mrs. Parker reckons there's big spoon and little spoon. Is this the spoon? It looks like this is the spoon stream, the spoon show. Big spoon and little spoon is what you look like when you're cuddling. Big spoon and little spoon. Okay. They must be facing opposite directions. The spoons. I don't know. Okay. It's like silverware.
Like silverware. Oh my gosh.
It's like silverware. Okay.
Murder.
Think of stacking two spoons together. All right, stacking two spoons together. So, okay, two spoons. All right, okay. I get it now. I think okay, stacking two spoons, it works now. Okay, because I was thinking about the spoons in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Was that?
No, that would be a 69.
Oh, here we go. Phil, how did you know that?
I definitely know that. Yeah, 69.
Hey, Godless Gama. She's live right now. Yeah, I was in the chat.
Yeah.
And I had to apologize for having this stream as well as hers. I didn't know She was
Yeah.
already. So, but I will put the link to her channel in the chat. So, guys, please do subscribe to Lady Aven. So, mark this as an educational, as this show as educational. We're learning
Yeah.
about spooning. There you
Spooning.
go. You know, we always like to learn about these things around here. We listen. Miss Parker
Learn
says
about utensils
we
in
are
sex.
spoons. We are spoons. Happy spooning, everyone. Well, anyone who engages in spooning. If you do spoon, enjoy it. Enjoy spooning. Enjoy whatever you do. We're very, very open-minded around here. Very open-minded. You just sub to her. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's continue with this Gman shenanigans.
Between being a Christian and believing whether or not God exists, they're not the same thing.
No, I understand that.
Yeah. So Christians are not commanded to go out, into the whole world proving that God exists. That's not what we do. So
right, you're supposed to spread the gospel, basically.
The gospel of Jesus Christ. Yeah, the good news of Jesus Christ. But as far as like this atheism, theism thing,
pause a minute.
It's absolutely nothing to do with Christianity.
Pause a minute. He's not totally correct. 1 Peter 3:15. Always be ready, have a good answer to give for the hope that is within you, for a good reason.
So Christians have to have an answer all the time, yes?
Yeah. So when he comes and says just about, but we know the Bible loves to contradict
itself. Yes.
Itself. But in this case, it might not be a contradiction. Yeah, according to the gospel, it said, one of the gospels, it said, go into the whole world and preach the gospel to every nation, blah, blah. But then, 1 Peter 3:15, then says, be ready to give an answer for the hope that's within you, or reason for the hope that's within you. So you still have to be able to give some sort of answer. He's saying you don't have to prove God is just the gospel, but he's not totally correct. Spooning is very vanilla.
Yeah, I did the test recently, right? Because there's this test that you can do, like tells you what your fetishes are if you have any. It tells you where you are on the scale if you're. There's so many different things I've never heard of before in my life. Oh my goodness! Listen, if it's anything, walking away from religion has done for me, right? It has made me the life that Christianity tried to keep me away from. Now I can explore this life without any no fear, no guilt, no that feeling of God is watching you, God is searching your heart, and all these things. What's wrong in just finding out what's there, finding out what takes your fancy. Not everything I've seen so far I'm keen on, but at least I know about these things. There's so many things I have no knowledge about. I mean, look at the other day we're talking about BBC. I'm like, what the hell is that? Didn't even know what BBC was, don't know what spooning is, and these are things that you do on a daily basis, but because you've lived this sheltered Christian life, that and so you're out here just so if anything, walking away from religion has allowed me to just be myself.
And to feel comfortable talking about those things, because they try to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
Talking about those.
But saying that, when I did the test, I am definitely vanilla. Definitely. But it turns out I'm also a voyeur as well.
Oh.
And a couple other things, but they're just really very tiny percentages. Yeah. Anyways, Yeah, here we go. I knew I knew he would bring up BBC. Yeah. Right. Okay, let's carry on here. God is always watching. He's a pervert. Absolute
Yeah, a
pervert.
perv. Yeah,
Absolutely,
he's
absolute
voyeur. That's his
pervert.
fetish. That's
Mm-hmm.
God's fetish, voyeurism. Always looking into your bedroom, seeing what is going on. Then you're naked. Then you're having fun.
No, no. You know why this is really sickening. God gives you these features. He gives you these sexual desires. He gives you these innate drive for these things, right? Then somehow God's over you and tells you, no, I've given you this bit, I've given you all these things, but you can't use them. You can't explore. You can't, just figure out what these body parts are there for, right? And God help you. You go and explore and do what you need to do. He will be there watching you and waiting, ready to punish you.
Not only that, but even for the erogenous zones, you know, Christians are not.
Field talking erogenous zones. I like that. Carry on.
They try to make it seem as if it's something dirty. So if this God created you and created you with these erogenous zones, especially I know females have erogenous zones that stimulates and prepares your body to enjoy the pleasure and whatever. You know, why make it something dirty?
Exactly. Why? It makes no sense.
No.
God is a voyeur.
Voyeur.
I wonder where
Clearly.
I wonder where God will be on that test that I did. I will get the name of the test I did and see if I can put it in the chat.
As he could not, God could not take it anymore. That's why he had to then go and hover over Mary. He's all right. I can't take this anymore. I'm not being satisfied. Let me see how this actually feels.
His spirit was done hovering over the water.
Yeah.
So now he has to hover over Mary.
Mary.
What a bloody hoverer. All right, let's read this Gman stream. Jeez, we're far from the topic.
How so? Because you have to be a theist in order to follow into Christianity.
Yeah, you have to turn from your sins, and you have to. Well, first you got to admit that you're a sinner.
Here we go.
You need to acknowledge you need a savior. The savior is Jesus. You believe in your heart that God rose.
So these are the criteria for becoming a Christian, right? For being a Christian, for identifying as a Christian. It is accepting that you are a sinner, acknowledging that you're a sinner. Yeah. And what the rest, I don't know. Let's hear the rest of this.
Then for a day, and the Bible says that you'll be saved.
Then
that's Christianity. Christianity is all about following Jesus Christ.
Right, but you have to have that belief in God in order to have that as a foundation to move into Christianity. Because if you don't believe in God, then what's the point of making a declaration to Jesus if you don't believe? Because that's just basically pretending, is it not?
Theism and atheism is different than talking about Christianity. So you can't even be a Christian unless you believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God. And you said in your text on Skype, and you can go look at it, that you was never a Christian. So that means you did not believe that Jesus was the Christ, the Son of the living God. You didn't repent of no sins. You was a churchgoer.
No, because I didn't have a belief in God, and that's what I struggled with, because that is a foundation. I can't move on and say I accept Jesus if I first don't believe that God is there.
How did you end up in New Believers class if you didn't believe that God existed? How did you end up in New Believers class if you didn't believe that God existed? I'm just curious.
Because it was recommended to me that there was, because I can't quite remember what it was called. It was a specific New Believer class, and there was a series of videos that were done by a particular pastor. And it was recommended to me that it would help me with my struggles with belief in covering the topics that they did. I was given a workbook. We had classes once a week. And yeah, that was one of the first things that my pastor suggested to me to work through the struggles I was having with belief.
Okay. So in your own words, why exactly do you struggle with believing that God exists? Because I have a completely different take on
She just told you.
Really? She just told you.
She just told you.
Idiot.
She just told
Could
you.
you could you articulate? Could you articulate? Yeah. Could you articulate why you struggle with belief? I'm just curious.
Sure. I honestly just don't believe. Like I can't.
She just doesn't believe.
In order to believe something, I have to be convinced that it's true.
True,
right?
correct.
So, and I don't see how I can believe in something if I'm not first convinced it's true. Because that feels to me like I'm just pretending to believe something. So every time I went to church or I talked about it or I tried to pray or do any of that stuff, I didn't feel like I believed. I was like, I don't really believe that there's a God out there. I want to believe, but I don't. And I didn't know how to change my own mind, which is why I sought out going to church and Christianity, because I thought if I learned more about it, it would help me get there. And it never did.
Do you know what the difference between atheist and agnostic atheist is?
Yes.
What
are they?
An agnostic is someone who doesn't know if God is real, and an atheist is somebody that...
I don't understand this.
What that has to do with...
You just asked her to articulate why she doesn't believe, and you just completely ignored everything the woman said and just went off onto something altogether. Why does this man do this? Why does this man have? Why does he do this?
He's trying to shame or trying. I realize sometimes some Christians do that, especially when they ask a certain question and then they don't get the answer they want.
And you know, in her case, she has even made an effort. She didn't believe at all, but she wanted to believe.
Yeah.
She didn't even just sit there and just say, okay, well, let God, because,
you know,
some people would say, well, if God truly wants me to believe, he knows where to find me.
She wasn't convinced. She is an atheist. She's not convinced. General atheism is not being convinced of the claim made by
is that what it is?
Right? And then, of course, you have a spectrum. You have soft atheists who are more agnostic and will say that they don't know about God exists or not, but they're still not convinced, which will probably she is. Or it can range, and it depends on a degree of it's not a hard and fast, because you know Christians love this black and white stuff. It's not black and white.
It isn't black and white
at all. Gray areas, and some people are more towards the agnostic side, soft atheist side, and some move along a spectrum and will say, okay, I have certain things that seems like it can prove that this God doesn't exist, but still I'm not sure that some God exists.
Hey, right? We've got AA, we've got hello, good to see you.
Hi.
Marilee, hello. And you just talked about gray areas. Now, talking about gray areas, we're not talking about Shani's gray areas. If you know, you know. Right? If you know, you know. Yeah. That's not the gray areas we're talking about. We're talking about a spectrum, right?
A spectrum.
Of belief. Lack of belief.
Sometimes if you ask certain people what in terms of percentage, if you want to give a percentage, what percentage will you say that you are convinced or are not convinced that God exists or believe that a God does not exist? Right? And people give different, along there. The hard atheists who say, yes, I am convinced that, that they will say no God exists. Of course, they have a burden of proof too, right? Because it's have to provide evidence. The positive claim always requires the evidence. Requires evidence to be given.
Oh,
So,
this was from 3 days ago. Very, very
oh
new.
yeah,
This
very
was
new.
from, was it 3 days ago or 2 days ago? A few days ago, though.
If you,
So
yeah,
this is very, very new. Cognitive
right.
dissonance, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when he comes, what he's trying to say that that's what he want to answer about agnostic now, but he I suspect that he might be going on this thing where some people will claim they're agnostic, not atheists.
Right.
But general atheism, as long as you are not convinced or you don't
Of a God.
believe in a God, whether or not you are not sure a God exists or not, you are an atheist.
Does
Theists are
one
people who believe in a God. You can have
does
agnostic theists too,
right.
who will say, I believe, but to claim that they have knowledge, they will say they don't have necessary knowledge, but they believe that God exists.
Right. So this is what I was trying to say, that one deals with knowledge and the other one deals with belief or
Belief, right?
faith
That's where the word Gnostic comes from,
comes
knowledge,
in. Exactly.
right?
So, but Doug says here they are not mutually exclusive.
Not totally.
Not
By
totally.
all depends, because as I said, you can have an agnostic theist.
And this is the gray areas we're talking about.
Yeah, the gray areas.
Right. Okay. I'm going to stay quiet. Hey, Godless Comma. I know
I
Godless.
got let's
God,
come
I
on.
know Godless Comma is like this conversation, G man. Okay. All right. Here we
Mm-hmm.
go.
That says, well, this is basic, but they say that God is not real, or they lack
Okay.
a belief in a God that's real.
So, well, first and foremost, that whole term about lacking belief was Matt Dillahunty's way of getting away from his
Oh,
burden of
gosh.
proof.
Oh,
That's why he
gosh.
said he liked
Oh
That's
belief.
actually what it.
no,
But
That's
no,
actually
no,
what
no, 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 no.
the
Oh boy.
that's
Oh
the dictionary definition of
boy. Oh
atheism.
boy. Oh boy.
One
No.
thing about G Man, which I realize, he name drops. He can
Yeah.
be having a conversation with he's in a
And
conversation with Lady Aven and her husband.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we don't need now to bring all these other people. What has
No,
Matt Dillahunty got to do with
to
this
do with
conversation?
this. Correct.
Because G Man has to insert these names so
Yeah.
that you would know that he has had engagements with these people. These people he keeps name dropping, these people are there, they've moved on past G Man. They are
Mm-hmm.
doing so well in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people, some of the people he would start to
And
name drop in a minute.
yeah,
100K channels they've got.
yeah,
These people are, they've become huge YouTubers, right? The ones who have moved on to other things, they've gone on to do great things, right? But
yeah.
G Man is still stuck.
Mm-hmm.
He's stuck in
Because
this
he
rut.
because he's trying to create straw man, he's trying to create red herrings that he can pull down because he doesn't have any good arguments against the terminology, against how we identify. Whether or not you call atheist or somebody choose to identify as Gnostic, the description is I lack a belief in any god or goddesses. Full stop.
Ew.
Everyone call themselves agnostic, atheist, yeah. But the descript it is just a placeholder. The terms are just
Mm,
placeholders,
mm.
and it just shows how I was going to say stupid.
Dumb,
G-Man
dumb.
is dumb because he will not educate himself on logical fallacies. He will not educate himself on how language works.
Yes, he is
And
very
it's
lacking.
sad. And it doesn't mean that you don't have to have gone to high school to learn those things. The internet has good websites, teaches these things at the level that a layperson can understand. So he refuses to educate himself because the number of stupid things that he say clearly he has not educated himself.
No, he hasn't. It's
And there's
oh,
years.
exactly. And hey, people Thulu, we've got Luciferian American. Listen, your name alone,
Well,
your name alone would make G-Man just
yeah.
run away from you. Christians don't like Lucifer, anything to do with
Oh, the
Satan,
little
anything to
Satan.
do with anything to do with that. They're so
Mm-hmm.
terrified of Satan. My goodness. So you challenged G-Man, and it took him months to respond, and he beached out. Of course, G-Man knows that he's not in your league. Yeah, and he G-Man likes to go for people that he can bully, because
Yeah.
G-Man is a bully. So
Yeah.
he'll assess you to see if you can you're the kind of person that he can easily get one over. And when he sees that you can't, he just would, and then he will lie. I mean, look at Mrs. Parker. Mrs. Parker said, let's do a debate. They arranged the time. Everything was, listen, I didn't care whether I had the other, I'm on the other part of the world. I was going to
Mm-hmm.
be in that chat when Mrs. Parker and G-Man were having that. I was going to be there, right? Everything was set. Mrs. Parker was supposed to make the plans and everything. And guess what G-Man said? G-Man came
Yeah.
along and gave very flimsy excuse. He chickened out. He chickened out and said, "Oh, his friends said, I don't remember what he said. He gave this stupid excuse and chickened out at the last minute. Gosh,
Yeah.
because he knew that Mrs. Parker would have trashed him. Oh, I was
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to it. Oh
Oh,
gosh,
yeah.
that would have
Yeah.
made my day. But hey, it didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. Mm.
Slothcast, hello, good to see you here. Okay, so let's carry on with this G-Man nonsense.
No,
It
the
says lack of
historical,
belief.
yeah, the recent definition of it is the lack of belief, but the historical definition
Is
is actually that God exists. It is a positive claim that God doesn't exist.
It's more
If
the
you actually look at an
That's not
older
what
dictionary,
more.
if you actually go
is
look at an older dictionary, if you go look at an older dictionary, it says that it's a positive belief that God does not exist. That's
but
Matt Dillahunty playing with words and equivocating with the whole
no, he's not
lack of
playing with
belief nonsense.
words. That
You know
is
what I mean?
what the new dictionary says, that it is
Mm-mm.
a lack of belief. It is the claim that the positive claim that God doesn't exist is the hard atheist claim. And that's one definition.
That's just
But
one.
he's getting on as if the
He
words,
as if he
as if
wrote the
that's
dictionary.
the only, as if that's the only meaning. There are other
What
words that have multiple meanings,
what an
because
idiot.
dictionary is just given the
Descriptive.
usage. Is a
Descriptive.
usage, right? How
Descriptive
people are
language.
using. So you will have now in the new dictionaries words like fuck. You will have the words like shit in the new dictionaries when the old dictionaries didn't have them,
Mm.
because it's usage and
Or
it's no common
LOL.
usage.
Like
Yeah,
LOL.
LOL.
Those
So
new
he that's why he
words.
said he has not educated himself.
Mm.
So he's come with this bullshit arguments all the time.
God.
Ah,
So the dictionary was changed because Matt Dillahunty said lack of belief.
nope.
No, the
That's
dictionary
kind of
was changed because a lot of modern atheists. The dictionary was changed because a lot of modern atheists want to stay away from their burden of proof. See,
No,
here's the thing. The reason why I asked you what was the difference between atheists and agnostics.
No,
They
boss.
changed the dictionary because of the
What's the one?
atheists. Congratulations, atheists. You guys are just awesome. They're changing dictionaries because of the atheists. Because atheists don't want to, what did he say? Don't to prove the burden of proof. Can you imagine that the reason that he gives, that they change the meaning, is because the atheists, the burden of proof lies on the one who's making the positive claim.
yeah,
So
but
the atheist isn't making a claim about God. It's the theists, the ones who believe, they're the ones saying they believe in God for one reason or another. So unfortunately, the burden of proof does not lie with the atheists, right, Phil?
yeah. As
don't
long
know.
as the atheist is not making the positive claim, if it's making an absolute positive claim, yes, the burden of proof will lie with the atheist also. but the theist is making actual positive claim that God exists. So the burden of proof more lies with him.
Oh, he challenged you. Luciferian, I need to see this. I really need to see this. I've never seen this before. So he challenged you and then chickened out. Gosh, this guy. My goodness. Oh, I need to see that. Hey, Dean Kruger, good to see you. Right. Oh,
the atheist was because, how do you know that God doesn't exist? You say you don't believe it. Okay, great. How confident are you that he doesn't exist?
100%.
Okay, great. How do you know that?
Because I have no evidence for the contrary.
I have no evidence.
I may have to. You got
But
the
if you've
link
been on
for
the
the
moon, but I
video,
believe it.
Phil?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
you sent it?
No, it isn't.
There's
There's no way in the world we
Hang
got
on,
through
I'll
the
send it.
radiation
I
and
don't
it was
have
sent back to those
I'll send it.
And then there's just too much evidence to suggest that it was a hoax.
Friend, there's
Really?
tons of evidence. There's people who physically went there. There's dust that we brought
You
back.
wasn't there. You wasn't there, so you don't know it. You take somebody's word for it.
But
I was not.
Okay,
physically there.
I have a counter. I have a counter to that though.
yeah, let me post
Yeah, you
G-Man, do you believe that the resurrection is real?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
But you weren't there, so how do you know?
But you wasn't there,
First
so
of all,
how do you
let's
know?
take a look
Like
at
the
my.
same logic.
No.
The
The
same logic
same
can be applied
logic.
if you're
Yeah. All right. Ooh. What position you're at? What 12?
I'm
20?
on 12 minutes. 12 minutes 20. 12 20.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That
Let it
whole
close there.
that whole resurrection story fails, in my opinion. Whether
it fails.
Jesus rose from the dead or not. For me, it really isn't so much about him rising or not rising. I don't
Correct.
care if he rose. It's the whys that matter to me.
Yeah.
Why would the Jesus come down here, right? To come and so he came to save us from what him and his daddy are going to do to us. Him and his daddy have prepared this place of eternal torture. And then the daddy says, go to the earth and then go do this, go do that, and go be hung on a cross, right? So that daddy up there can feel good with himself. No, you all, daddy, ghost, and son. Just pack it and just
it's
be
so
off.
Silly.
Idiots. All three of them.
Look
Sorry,
at
sorry, guys.
You had it speed up or
I had it at 1.25, please.
Oh, so the man is stopped really quick sometimes.
Yeah, but listen.
But because he's straight to talk.
I get easily frustrated with G-Man, so
the
only way I can do it
The
is
same
by...
logic can be applied. If you're saying that you
I
can
never
dismiss
answered your
a claim because
question. You got to wait for me to talk and then say that, because I know how this goes. The same logic cannot be used because I'm not using your way of going about determining whether or not something is true or not.
No, we're just using
come on.
Night, dog.
Good night, dog. Come on, G-Man. You are being a hypocrite. You're being a liar now. Everybody can see, based on your logic, that, but may he tell her, were you there? She asked you the same question about the resurrection, and you know, saying her logic, it has nothing to do with her logic.
And now I see why Godless Scammer cannot deal with G-Man.
He's a
G-Man
dishonest fuck.
is low-hanging fruit. Well, I like low-hanging. I like low-hanging fruit. Because maybe because I'm short. I'm only 5'4".
Yeah.
So I've got to crouch. I've got to go. So yeah, I like low-hanging fruit.
My gosh. Well. All right.
Okay.
G-Man,
we're
just using your logic against you. That's all.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I never see. Here's the thing. You skipped the step, and the step was, G-Man, how do you go about determining whether or not something is true? You never asked me that. And before I could say anything, you attempted to use an argument you haven't even heard yet.
Friend, you didn't ask us that question.
Well, I'm trying to get to it now. So the bottom line is I believe in faith, and I believe that you have a faith that God doesn't exist, and I believe that the young lady that I'm talking to, what is your name, Lady Aven?
No, he probably has some good reason. Oh, you have a faith. It's not faith.
How do you have a faith that God exists?
He has not even asked and find out, okay, what are the reasons that you will say that God doesn't exist? But he's assuming because he got faith, he's trying to again pull Comrade Aven down to his level. Because that's how he operates. Some people inferiority complexes, that's how they operate because they know they can't argue otherwise, can't argue on the higher level. Oh boy.
I believe that you definitely have faith that there is no God, because neither of you nor any other atheist in history has been able to come up with a logical, rational reason for why God doesn't exist.
Yeah, because
but no one's proved that God has exists. So
that's not true.
How can I prove? How can I prove something is not true when it first hasn't been proven?
Can you stop?
Okay.
Is it the atheists that need to prove that God does not exist?
No.
How do you prove something
that not?
Right?
It's difficult to prove, not, especially something that's invisible that cannot be falsified.
Exactly.
We have no other universes where we can say, oh, this is a universe where a God is absent, and then even that's the problem, because you're still using the God term in there. How you know that the God is absent from that universe in the first place, or present in that universe in the first place? It's an what we call unfalsifiable position.
It is.
Which in science, any hypothesis has to be falsifiable in order to be tested. And when you claim because of faith, therein lies the problem.
I personally anything to do with faith. If you need faith for any forms of belief, I just think that it's problematic, because
it's problematic.
With faith, you can believe just about anything.
Anything. So I was just about to say, I could say I believe that I have faith that the flying space monkeys exist.
Phil, I can have faith and believe that I have 10 husbands.
Yeah.
I've got 10 men waiting for me. By the time I'm done here, right? They're all there waiting to pleasure me. You understand?
Yeah.
I can have faith that I'm a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But these things
are
not true.
It's not true.
So what's the point?
But there's even more evidence for those things than even an invisible thing that you never see, you never ever experience, but people are trying to make claims for this nebulous thing that a whole lot of them have different characteristics for and properties.
And why
don't worry, Carnivus.
Why
number one.
Listen, why can't I have faith? Why can't I have faith? Huh? Listen, why can't I have faith? If my grandfather in real life, he had 27 wives. So what are you on about? I mean, You're missing the point of how Gman is equivocating with his words and usage of faith. All right, I'm the one who's missing the point.
Well, okay, let's play.
Okay, so let's look at the statement that you just made. You just made a statement that said nobody, that means in history, has ever proven that God exists. That's what you just got finished saying.
Yeah, that's the fact.
Okay, good.
There's no verifiable evidence that God
How do you explain atheists? Hold on a minute. Before we get to intelligent design and all those other arguments, how do you explain atheists that leave atheism and become hardcore Christians? Just curious.
Because they changed their minds, something convinced them.
Exactly.
How is that relevant?
So you can no longer say now you can no longer say that no one's ever proven that he's existed.
No, he's wrong.
Yeah, go on.
People become convinced for bad reasons.
Yes. Faith.
Faith and some bad reasons, because sometimes what happens is that, especially if you don't have if you don't have good foundation, some people just don't believe that God exists, but they might not have the best of reasons, right? And I find sometimes those are the ones that are easily convinced, because when you ask them, what is it that convinced you? You realize that is anecdotal. They claim they have an experience just like how the Christians will claim,
Mm.
and they attribute it to that God.
Steve McRae manager says, I have faith that G-Man will say something that implies he is bi-curious again before the year is out. You know something? Steve McRae manager is a prophet.
Prophet, yeah.
You're a true prophet of God, because he said something along those lines in his very last stream. I was watching it this morning when GP was trying to ask him, does he know the origins of where these allegations come from? Because he keeps saying that the atheists call him gay, and no, GP was trying to say, do you know where these? It was you started it off by saying you pray away gay thoughts. And G-Man, the next thing out of G-Man's mouth is that it's the devil. The devil's the one putting those thoughts in his head. And G-Man had to say, GP had to say, look, not everyone has these thoughts, right? The fact that you're saying that these demons are putting it in your mind, your memory, or whatever. You know, if you're straight identifying, the demons would not put gay sex and gay thoughts in your, you know what?
Another thing I realized here, he's just being dishonest again. I'm not sure how. He said, remember initially he said, Bender said you have to have evidence or give a good evidence for. He said, no, it is not evidence, it is faith. Now he is saying, oh, there's evidence for.
Yeah. And
he's such a dishonest person.
Let me address Godlet's comment about theists who are more intelligent than G-Man. And look, one thing about me, I don't claim to be clever, intelligent.
Correct.
I don't claim all these things. And don't forget, I'm still a fairly new atheist. I'm still learning these conversations. I'm still learning philosophy, learning, all these arguments.
Logical.
Phil will tell you. Phil and myself, sometimes I'll ask him questions about the logical fallacies. What does this mean? What does that mean? I'm still learning these things. So unfortunately, I may not be on the level of those intelligent atheists. I'm still down here. And I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of where I am. So if G-Man, I'd like to engage in this content. I'm actually doing this because of Lady Aven, because I do like Lady Aven, so and I like her stand on things, and for her to have this opportunity to talk to G-Man, she didn't know what she was in for.
But you have to listen. There are people similar to G-Man, but not as nasty, but they think similarly to G-Man.
Oh yes.
And sometimes the high level philosophical things don't work with them because they're persons.
No,
so
they don't work with
all
me.
Spectrums.
High level philosophical arguments. Before becoming an atheist, I've never taken a philosophy class in my life. So
it depends. You see, that's why I don't put down any person for talking about things at a certain level, because there is a wide spectrum. Certain people who are among who are there persons that don't care about philosophy.
Yes.
All they care about is faith. And if you get down to their level and you expose and show there's the problem with the faith aspect, they will more likely listen.
Yes. And
right?
this is where
And that gets them on the road to start thinking. And then eventually, sometimes myself learn the other logical arguments because he
That's
knew about
right.
circular reasoning
Yes.
and
yes.
educate himself. So you have to remember it's a wide spectrum of people that
It
you're dealing
is.
with, and everybody have their own experience as how they got out of the faith. Some
Yes.
it was big logical arguments, some is the simple arguments exposing the problem, the faith, and so on.
Yes.
So
And
you know.
And God bless
Mhm.
Gama, I understand 100%. I'm not saying you're the one on the high level. I'm just saying this is my rationale
Yeah.
for doing this, right? And with G-Man, you find that people come and go with G-Man. It's a cycle
Mm-hmm.
with him. The atheists he was dealing with 5 years ago, they've moved on. They're
Yeah.
on to other things, right? Before you know it, I'll be on to other things. I'll have a channel 10K and plus, right? G-Man will still be stuck in his sowing and reaping. And then a new set of atheists will come, but he'll still
Mm-hmm.
be stuck there.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping he starts to realize this. I'm hoping that he starts to figure these things out. Whatever he's doing on YouTube is just not working.
Yeah.
He's doing the opposite of whatever his goal is here on YouTube. And it's rather unfortunate because today G-Man is threatening to open another channel, and he's planning to call the channel hating to hate on the F word, right? I don't want to
Oh.
say it here. Yeah, he wants to team up with Westboro Baptist Church
Oh my gosh.
to hate on gay people. He wants to take away the rights of gay people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's his goal. He's
Yeah.
just going to shoot himself in the foot by the time
Yeah.
he's done, and he will blame it on the atheists. So
Mm-hmm. As it
that's
is.
that cycle. Before you know it, even myself, I'll be done with the G-Man
Yeah.
content. I've got bigger fish to fry in Africa.
Yeah. We got some fish to fry in the Caribbean. The Africans coming to Caribbean to spread the madness. Anyway.
Can I
No, no,
return
no,
that
no,
same
no, no. That's
Everybody's
not what I
burden of
said.
proof is
That's not what I
different.
said.
Everybody's burden of
So-
proof is different.
Okay, but people can be convinced by lots of other things. There's people out there that are convinced that aliens are real. Does that mean that aliens are real?
According to the evolutionary worldview, you guys got to believe aliens exist. You can't believe that we're the only ones out
No,
here.
we don't. You don't.
No. Jesus. Gosh. If he
call
believes
us-
God,
you call us
that
Jews.
doesn't logically follow. That does not logically follow, even with his worldview of creationism. The aliens out there might be angels for them.
Gosh. So
That shows the oh my gosh.
according to the atheist worldview, they have to believe
Because
in
of evolution.
aliens because of evolution.
Evolution. That no.
Okay, right. That makes no sense
That
whatsoever.
makes no sense.
Believe in evolution.
No, there's nothing in our worldview that says we have to or have not to believe in something.
If you don't
Yeah.
believe in aliens, then you don't believe in evolution.
Evolution and aliens are two completely different things. Like they're not
Correct.
related.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yes,
Evolution,
no, they're not.
evolution is
If we
the
had a
process of
discussion-
how life diversified on the planet Earth. It's got
Oh,
nothing
this
to
guy
do
is
with
dumb.
Yeah,
life
on
on
Earth.
other planets.
What about other planets? What about other planets? What about
We
other
don't know
planets?
anything about other planets and life on other
That's
planets
not
because we haven't
true.
found it
That's
yet,
not
so-
true. I can show you Aaron Law. I can show you Thunderfoot. I can show you all
here
these
we
other
go.
scientists that are
Here
claiming
we
that
go
they're
with the names.
Yeah.
Here we go with the name dropping.
And
Mhm.
misrepresenting what
Their
those other people are
positions.
saying, their positions.
What's an idiot?
He's oh gosh.
What's
And
an
as
idiot?
again I said, I realize that this is a practice that Christians do.
Right.
In my experience as a fundamentalist Christian, I realize it is something that they do. That when I was a fundamentalist Christian, trying to learn arguments as a young teenager, this is how they like to go and take quotes from people who are on the opposition, and then say, "Oh, they prove my point,"
Hang
but
on.
they
Hang on.
misrepresent.
Hang on. There's someone in the chat who I adore. He's here. Ah, buddy from the outside chat. Oh, buddy from the outside chat is a thorn in G-Man's, a perpetual thorn in G-Man's flesh, and I love it. Buddy from the outside chat, I absolutely love it.
Oh my God.
You really should have Christians in quotes anytime it proceeds or follows the name G-Man. All right, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
G-Man,
All right,
oh
I get
God.
and thank you for doing the Lord's work, buddy from the outside chat. Whatever you're doing, I champion it. Yes, I'm here, just rooting for you.
Murder. Oh my goodness.
Sorry to interrupt, Phil.
No, that's okay. That's all right. That is great. Okay, let's.
Must be life on other planets. Even Richard Dawkins admitted that.
But like, yeah,
They're looking at probabilities, yes, but there's no hardcore evidence that there is life on other planets yet because we have not found it. It's a probability. That's different.
That doesn't prove any part of your argument, though. That has nothing to do with any of this conversation.
Correct.
Actually, it does.
No, it does not.
When we start talking about why a person believes the things that they believe and whether or not they have evidence to back up that belief, it has everything to do with that. You, on the other hand, sir, don't got one good reason to say that you're,
Oh boy.
Cynthia's here.
Cynthia. Hi.
And Nerdy. Hey, Nerdy Rodent. Hello. Pick some cherries. Cherry picking.
Cherry picking.
Nerdy Rodent, cherry picking begins.
Bare cherries.
I mean, someone just one second. So have you ever heard have you ever had any conversations at all with Richard at all? Richard Madsen. Yeah.
No.
So Richard Madsen is a theist, right? I don't know if he identifies as a Christian, but he has a completely different perspective on the Bible and the religion. It's interesting because I've never heard this perspective before. I've had him on the channel, but months and months ago.
Yeah.
And just I think I'll put the link to his channel here. And he does streams talking about the Bible and his perspective, completely different from what you have ever heard from the regular Christians that you come across.
Okay. No, I have not heard him.
Oh, right. So you should check him out.
I should check him out.
Absolutely.
Being an atheist, what you're gonna do is tell me no one's ever proven that God exists. You're gonna go in a circle, and then I'm gonna go back and say, okay, people in the past, even people today have been convinced that God exists. That's a dumb argument. You can't come out there and say that nobody, because you're speaking for everybody at this point now.
Are you telling me
and that's a mistake?
No, I'm only speaking for myself.
Stop saying that nobody's ever proven that God existed. Then that's dumb.
Because we don't have concrete evidence that God does exist. Yes, otherwise, because if we did, everybody would believe it across the board.
Actually, we do, and I'm going to prove it. And earlier, when we was on Skype and we were using definitions, I said that I don't believe that you were using these words correctly. I think you remember that, and I think you got a little offended when I said it. I don't think you know what God is or what gods are.
What's your definition of God?
Yeah,
well, first of all, when we're talking about the Christian God, we're talking about a God that is outside of time and space, all-knowing, and all-powerful, and a very loving God.
You got no. You see, he now gone to the Christian God. He's now come down, but he has to show that a God exists, and he has not done that. No, he's saying, "Oh, I'm talking about Christian God," but still, that does not prove that any God exists or that God exists. Does he understand why William Lane Craig and those guys tend to try to go with the theological, the arguments they use, right? These so-called philosophical arguments that they try to use to smuggle in their specific God. They jump, they say there's a cause for everything, blah, blah, blah. And then they jump, a big jump, and say, oh, that cause is God. They still have not proven that God exists. And they do that because they know they can't jump straight to the Christian God to show that Christian God exists.
No, they can't. They can't. But
right?
G-Man is on a completely different...
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
A mistake and say he's all loving and he's not. You gotta do that all the time. Number two.
So if he's outside,
she's going to say she's going to say a very important point just now. Just let it play.
Outside of time and space, then how can he exist? Because anything outside of time and space doesn't exist. All we can verify is what exists here.
Do you believe in proton particles?
Proton particles.
Anyway, the second definition.
Okay, so
anyway, the second definition.
Stop for a second.
He just
stop. So wait, G-Man gave a description of his God, Yahweh. Yeah. And said this God is all loving.
Yeah.
He's outside
of
time and space. He's out there. He's just gone. He's not even present in this time and space. And Lady Aven was trying to, to say, look, if he is outside time and space, how can you say he exists? And now we are on to what? Protons. Huh? How did we get from God being outside of time and space,
into protons?
What did he call them?
Protons.
What on earth?
Protons are a subatomic particle that is made up. The atom is made up of the nucleus. It has mass.
Oh, I don't know.
And if it has mass or quote unquote weight, how could it be outside space and time necessarily? You don't know what. It's part of this universe. G-Man said that. I knew clearly he didn't know what he's talking about.
Exactly.
My major is in chemistry.
Ooh.
My science major is chemistry.
Oh yes.
So that's why I got really
and people feel says that he was misquoting a science concept. He actually means quantum particles. And I think Comrade Aven is going to point it out in a second. If you play it and you hear
yeah.
About a proton.
Well, according to your Big Bang theory, this is going off topic, but according to your Big Bang theory, you guys believe that proton particles were coming in and out of existence.
I think you're
during the time of the Bang.
I think you're.
No.
Just play it.
Before you get there, what he just said that it popping out of existence. I don't think the Big Bang theory says that. What we know now from the Hadron Collider, right? We know there are virtual particles that pop in and out of existence, or what we see as existence, right? But that doesn't mean that because that they don't necessarily exist. It's just that we detect them. It seems as if they're popping out of existence. No, and he does not have a clue what he's talking about, because that is now quantum physics and physics on a different level. He needs to speak with Lawrence Krauss, and Lawrence Krauss will laugh at him or any physicist.
No.
Mistaking proton particles with electrons. They are not the same.
No. I'm going by what P.Z. Meyer said. I'm going by
and those particles that pop in and out of existence are not protons. They're called virtual particles. He's getting this whole thing wrong.
He's dumb, isn't he?
He's dumb as a doornail. Doorknob is very intelligent. No,
wow.
He's dumb as a doornail.
Oh, yikes.
What other scientists on YouTube have said, unless you guys got it wrong. I'm simply repeating what you guys said.
No, you're not.
Okay. So, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, you also misquoting Aaron Law, Concordance, Prudence, and quite a few other people. Because I can actually, if I had the videos in front of me, I can show you where they argue the parts and parts. As a matter of fact, the argument gets drawn up to it.
I don't need links.
So wait. So if we're talking about our own atheism, what do these other people and other atheists? What relevance does that have?
Because of the counter argument that you're making. You're telling me that the reason why you don't believe is because no one's ever proven that God existed. That gets obliterated the moment we show you.
Right. So because we can't explain totally why these particles seem to pop in and out of existence, or we don't fully understand the mechanism yet, therefore God. Incredulity. I can't explain it, therefore it is my God.
Yeah, it is my specific God.
And the reason why he's saying that is because he's trying to make a claim that there is something outside of space and time. And that this here shows that it is outside space and time. But he can't make that claim because right now we don't have a full explanation as to why this happens. So making such a claim, no evidence, no experimental evidence, no experimental data to back up his claim. I can't explain it, therefore
God.
His God.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
No. Therefore, Gman's
That's not
God.
what I said. I said
yeah, Gman's God, yeah.
No one has provided me with evidence that convinces me that a God
that gets obliterated, ma'am. That gets obliterated, ma'am. The moment I show you somebody who's been convinced that God exists, that's not a smart argument.
Because their opinion is irrelevant to my own opinion.
Right. So why are you an atheist? Watch this. Why are you an atheist?
Because no one has provided me with evidence that has convinced me a God is real.
So anyway, I gave you the definition for the Christian guy.
You're just going to completely dodge over that.
Because I've already addressed that, and I'm going to end up talking in circles. So number two, there are naturalistic gods, and this is the ignorance of the atheist community, because a lot of atheists only know about Christianity. The end. They think that's the only religion on earth, or the only belief system on earth. First of all, Christianity is not even a religion; it's a relationship with the Creator. That's number one. And then number two, you can laugh it up. You can laugh all you want, but I can prove that all day in my sleep.
You can prove that you have empirical evidence that you have a relationship with a being that's outside of time and space.
Yes, I can. As a matter of fact, every Christian on the planet believes it. You told me. Hold on a minute.
I'm asking for empirical evidence.
Hold on a minute. You said that you researched. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. You said you researched Christianity and that you went to church. If you don't know that Christians, hold on a minute. If you don't know that real Christians, not that fake burnt toast that's watching this show right now, but if you don't know that real Christians actually have a relationship with the Creator, then I don't know what to tell you. Okay. So number two, there are naturalistic. Hold on a minute. I want to finish my definition here. Here's the other gods you don't know nothing about. There are pagan gods and naturalistic gods. These are the things that people equate. Okay, so if you're aware of them, then tell me why Earth doesn't exist.
Huh?
I mean, you overtalked me. You said you're aware. Tell me why Earth doesn't exist. I never made an argument. Tell me why Earth doesn't exist.
I love how your argument is basically, I'm going to burn the rule book. That's how I'm going to fight you.
Okay, but you said that you. Okay,
I'm not burning the rule book
because you jumped.
I'm not burning the rule book. Wait a minute. You're changing the topic again. Hold on a minute. You can't do that. You're changing the topic again.
You completely avoided my question.
No, I did not. And you're changing it. You asked me what the definition of gods are, and I'm trying to answer it. Hold on a minute. And I'm trying to answer it. But before I can elaborate on it, you want to stop and you want to go back to the Christian God. Atheism, historically, real atheism, not this fake mess that we see today. Historical atheism is against all beliefs in any type of deity whatsoever. And you seem to be afraid for me to define naturalistic gods or pantheistic gods or pagan gods or anything like that. Because you will not, because you keep interrupting me every time I try to define it. But you want to know what? I'm not going to define them no more. You asked me a question, I was not able to answer it, so I'm not going to answer it now.
Okay.
Well, this is how this conversation is going to go, and that's what it's going to be.
Cool.
You're denialist. That's what I'm going to call you until you actually have a conversation with me.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. I'm totally okay with that. You said that you have empirical evidence that you have a relationship with a being that is outside of time and space. So I would like to know what that empirical evidence is.
Well, before I do that, do you understand what empirical evidence is?
Oh,
and don't ask me to define it.
Answer the question.
I already tried to define something.
Answer the question.
No. What is empirical evidence?
Wait. No.
You didn't know what God was.
No.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute.
Double standards here. If I can't ask you to define something, you can't ask me to define something.
No.
So
Earlier, and this is what happened on Skype too. Hold on a minute. This is what happened on Skype. I ask you specific questions and you don't want to answer them. You ask me questions and I answer them, and then when I return to ask you a question, you don't want to answer it. Okay? I know how this game goes. This is why a lot of you are considered dishonest. The bottom line, and by the way, get ready for me using that word a lot, because this is now going to apply to you now in the same way I see the rest of this community. Because I've tried on a couple of different occasions to try to tell you that this is about atheism and theism, a belief in a God and non-beliefs in gods. It has nothing to do with Christianity, right? So I'm saying to you, these are the definitions of God. You clearly don't care about that. You're telling me that nobody's ever proven that Earth exists, the sun exists, the moon exists.
I didn't say that.
She did not say that. He's such a liar. Oh my goodness.
Don't forget, all liars have their parts in the lake that burns with fire. Remember, don't forget that, okay, guys?
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Oh my goodness.
Just putting words in my mouth now.
Okay. So how do you explain paganism? How do you explain paganism, man?
How do you mean explain paganism?
Explain
Boy?
How do you explain paganism?
We have
You say
thousands,
that God does not
over
exist.
3,000
How
religions.
is it? Just
Right?
stop. He accused her of changing the topic.
I know.
All G-Man has done is change the topic constantly, asking her for the definition of empirical evidence. Now he is on to
paganism.
You know, then
and he never answers the question.
This is a man that keeps talking about Gish Gallop.
Listen, he accustomed playing cheating football.
Say that
he
again.
Always cheating football.
Cheating
football. This is what he's doing, shifting the goalpost.
Right.
So he can keep scoring.
God, I don't know. People can have conversations with this man. I don't know how to do it.
And he don't answer the question. Because he knows he does not have an answer for a question, so he shifts the goalpost.
That's right. Wow.
He's just, oh my goodness. Well,
I'm actually glad for Christianity. He's doing well.
Yeah.
Doing an amazing job for Christianity.
Yeah,
Keep recruiting atheists, G-Man. Well done. You're doing fantastic.
Oh my gosh, Robert X. Oh my gosh, G Prick is such a man.
This is not a man.
Man's such a prick.
G Prick.
G Prick, yeah. With the new G-Man, aka G Prick.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have to say from now on for the rest of this screen.
You said that no one's ever proven that a God existed. You don't know what the definition of a God is. So how am I supposed to prove a God exists to somebody who doesn't even know what the word means?
I asked you to define it. I know what a God means.
A God is what? God is omniscient, right?
We could be on the same, so that we can.
God is omniscient. He is a final decision maker. I put it to you like this: God is omniscient. He's a final decision maker, right?
No.
God is also he's omniscient,
but was the
and he's also the final authority, right?
Evidence.
Who's the final authority in your life, man? Who makes the final decisions in your life?
I'm at myself.
Here we go. Change subjects again.
Yeah.
Okay.
He going on out to moral question. He now switched again the goalpost. Now going on, he ain't let her answer about paganism. And I know he switched now to the goalpost again onto the morality issue.
God.
He's all over the place. There's a saying here. It was a Calypsonian named Punka, and he sang about a donkey being all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
He sounds like Punka's donkey, all over the place. No direction.
None. He's just
So in paganism,
why do I need
what would that
to
make
make
you?
final decisions for me?
Wait a minute, even. As a pagan, what would that make you if you make your own final decisions?
Huh?
The same thing.
If you're omniscient in your own world, what does that make you? It's funny until you start looking at these definitions.
But she never said she's omniscient in her own world.
And how did paganism get into this conversation?
The conversation, yeah.
Right, we're talking about these are two atheists and a Christian, right?
Yeah.
How, where, what, just why?
Is he assuming that because she don't believe in a God, then she's a pagan?
No. They got to this conversation because Lady Aven says no one has proven the existence of a God.
Yeah, but
now
G-Man
is trying to insert that the pagans, they consider different things as God, right? So they might have proven an existence in God. He's going to get to it in a minute when he's going to talk about the sun being God, that the pagans worship the sun. So for the pagans, the sun is their God. So they've proven, right? They've met their burden of proof. That's what he's going to go on to now. That's how paganism got into this conversation.
That you guys are saying that you don't believe in. Atheists never think about these things, though. So I'll ask this question again.
How does that?
If you're the final authority in your life, what does that make you?
I have a question. I have a question in relation to this.
Yeah.
However I view myself in my own worldview and how I view my world, how does that lead back to proving a God exists?
Oh, good
Ma'am,
question.
I just asked you in relation to how are you not believing that a pagan God exists? You're dodging. You're dodging like Matt Dillahunty right now. The bottom line is that
I just answered that question.
both you and your husband. Hold on a minute. Both you and your husband said that no one's ever proven that a God existed. That's what both of you said in this room, which is going to be used against you now. Okay. When we're talking about pagan deities, we never said because I'm gonna get to the Christian deity, and you ain't gonna like what I got to say about that. But as far as the pagan one goes, how do you know that, let's say, the sun is not a god?
Oh, yep.
Because it's a star. There's lots of science.
Right. The science shows that they were formed by natural means.
Oh, Lady Aven's here.
Oh, hi, Lady Aven.
Lady Aven.
We feel your pain when talking with G-Man. We feel the pain. The mental anguish.
Oh, Lady Aven. But thank you for this stream, Lady Aven, because you've given us a different perspective, right, on G-Man. Because for some people, he's something to behold. Cannot understand the character. This person is just Lady Aven. Thank you. God.
I'm glad I'm not alone in the experience.
Oh. And guys, I'll put the link to Lady Aven's channel. Please do subscribe. A couple of people have already been subscribed. Yes, so please subscribe to her.
Yeah,
she could, definitely need this. She definitely needs the subscriptions. So, let's keep this conversation going, right? Normalizing atheism and getting different atheist content creators out there speaking on atheism, because after all, atheism is a default position, in my opinion. Anything else, they just made up beliefs. Most of these they just come up with all their different claims and different arguments. Start at ground zero. Start without a belief, and then if you're convinced, then go ahead and believe.
Oh my gosh. All right.
But that's not what I asked you. How do you know it's not a god?
Because we have evidence that it's not. We
know what it is. We know how it works.
If you talk to a pagan and the pagan says, I worship the sun because to me the sun is God.
Pagans
How then do you tell hold on a minute. How then do you tell the pagan that the sun is not God?
You should probably go talk to a pagan because they don't worship the fucking sun.
Exactly.
So, wait a minute, pagans don't worship the sun?
No.
Let me make sure I got your name here real quick. This is Comrade Aven. Okay, cool. All right.
Okay, so what does a pagan's belief? So a pagan believes the sun is a god. So what?
So what?
Like what relevance does that have?
So let me get this straight here.
Lots of sun.
I'm telling you that a pagan believes that the sun is God. That there are other pagans out there that believe that the moon is God. You got Hindus that deify cows.
Now we're
and you're sitting here telling me that a God has never been proven to exist. I want you to define for me what a God is, ma'am. For you to sit there and say that these things are not gods. Now, as a Christian, I can do this in my sleep. But you as an atheist,
know what they are.
Okay, I know what cow is, yes, and I know what and I know what the sun is. But ma'am, what is the definition of a God?
It varies.
You don't believe anything.
If I don't get to ask
the definition?
If I don't, no. If I don't get to ask you to define stuff, then you don't get to ask me to define
stuff.
Fair.
Correct.
This is what I'm saying. You guys don't got no rational reason for being no atheist. Y'all don't got no rational reason for being no atheist. Y'all haven't thought this stuff through at all.
That's a
you haven't
shown that.
Here, you've still danced over the fact.
I didn't dance over nothing. I want you to define your words. That's what I want you to do.
You said that you have empirical evidence that you have a relationship with a deity
Yeah.
that is outside of time and space. I am
Yeah.
interested
Of course I can do that.
specifically in
But
that.
before I do that, do you know what
No.
it
You
is?
danced around that.
I can't do that until we define our words, ma'am. What is a deity? What is a deity, ma'am? I don't think you know. It's called Google. Go look up the definition. Go look up what the word deity means and go look up what the word God means.
It varies.
Just to humor you, I'll do that. I'll specifically.
Oh, of course you will. But you don't believe that something exists and you don't know the definition of the thing. That don't make no sense, ma'am.
I do know the definition.
No, you don't. I'm losing a lot of confidence that you know the definition.
Can I ask you a question?
It's a synonym. A deity is a synonym for a god or a goddess.
What?
Okay, so what's a goddess? What's a god? What do they entail?
Well,
you guys talk about your education so much, but you guys don't even know the meaning of these words.
Can I go back to an earlier question? What deity?
You talk
what was the name
about
of the deity that pagans
stop,
worship
just
as the
stop,
sun
stop,
god?
stop, just stop one. G-Man just said that you guys talk about your education so much.
Wait.
When did
what?
they talk about
Wait,
their
wait, wait, wait.
education?
Let me
What's
go
wrong
Oh
with
my
back.
this
lord,
man?
sir! Do you know anything about
Let me go
Egyptology, sir?
back. Let me go back.
What's wrong with this guy?
Egyptology is not the same as paganism, my friend.
Sir,
Wait.
could you go look up the word
You're not
pagan?
thinking-
Go look up the
Come
definition for the
on.
word.
It's supposed to be able to go back.
It's okay. I think
I
you.
press. Hold on. No, I want to hear his thing. Right. Okay. Good.
God, Jaja.
Play.
So, wait a minute, pagans don't
Hey,
worship the sun?
Lilith.
No.
Hi,
Let me
Lilith.
make sure I got your name here real quick. This is Comrade
Hi.
Aven. Okay, cool. All right.
Okay,
So you
but
don't
what,
believe pagans
what
worship
does
the
a
sun?
pagan's belief? So a pagan believes the sun is a god. So what? Like what relevance does that
This is
have?
why our
We
education
know what
system
the
is failing us. So
we know what
so let me
the
get this straight here.
Oh, he said the educational system is failing us.
Let me straight here.
there's lots of signs.
I'm telling you that a
What does
pagan
that have to do
believes
with
that the
proving
sun is God. That there are other pagans out there that believe that
And that's
moon
their
is God.
personal belief.
You got Hindus that deify cows, and you're sitting here telling me that a God has never been proven to exist. I want you to
Because they defy cow does not mean that God exists.
And does not make the cow
And
a
that
god.
having cow a God. He's doing an equivocation fallacy.
Let's see.
That shows you
It's
how
just-
dumb, how stupid he is when it comes to these things.
So is he trying to equate his god to a cow?
You know?
Is that what we're doing
he's
here?
doing there now?
So Yahweh is a cow.
Mm.
If the Hindus
Or the sun?
can worship, yeah, maybe Yahweh is a sun.
Maybe. Oh my goodness.
define for me what a God is, ma'am. For you to sit there and say that these things are not gods. Now, as a Christian, I can do this in my sleep. But you, as an
we know what
atheist,
they are.
okay, I know what cow is, yes, and I know what and I know what the sun is. But ma'am, what is the definition of a God? Come on, you don't believe anything.
If I don't get to
What's
ask
the
you,
definition?
if I don't, no. If I don't get to ask you to define stuff, then you don't get to ask me to define stuff. Fair's fair.
There are various definitions for gods. People have different definitions. The same way, even within Christianity, they have different definitions for their Christian God. So, but that is a non sequitur. Has nothing to do with the thing. It is basically a deity. It's something that people think exists or worship or whatever, but it's still nebulous again. You see, G-Man doesn't understand how English and how language works. That's the main. That's what he's showing here.
Exactly. And he's also very disingenuous.
Very disingenuous.
Instead of saying, look, I really don't know what you mean, or I haven't got any knowledge in this particular subject matter.
Right.
He would either turn it back on its head, right? And push it back on you and make you look like you're the one who is getting the whole thing wrong. Whereas we can see what's going on here. That G-Man is dumb.
Yep. He will not educate himself. And he feels he knows it all when he knows nothing.
Absolutely.
And he don't understand how stupid he makes himself look when he says things like those things, and then talking about subjects that he don't have a clue about, or that he will not educate himself on. Because he's not about education.
Education.
Clearly.
If education failed anyone,
then
education failed Lady Aven and her husband. They're the more educated ones.
Education.
No, education. No, he failed education, or education failed him. No, education didn't fail him.
No, it didn't fail him.
He failed at education. Absolutely.
Yeah, at education. That's the problem. But he has an inferiority complex. As I said before, he has an inferiority complex. So he has to pull things down to his level.
Lady Aven, if you would want to come in and Yeah, because this is about you and your husband. You guys did
Yeah.
an amazing job. If you would like to, I would
Join.
put the link. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
why not? Because my
Yeah.
God, this is whew. And anyone
Oh
else. I mean,
boy.
why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh Lord. I he had me when he had me.
You're losing brain cells, are you?
No, no, not brain cells. I'm losing the little spriggles that I might have on. and now I can't even get them flat.
No. That's
Lord, that is a total loss.
just forget it.
Complete.
That's done. That's completely done. Just forget it. She's cooking. Look. Oh, by the
Oh,
way,
okay.
Lady Aven, G-Man said you should be in the kitchen, not on the stream.
Oh,
Yeah, because G-Man was butthurt when Lady Aven. Yeah, we'll get to all of that. We'll get there.
yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
G-Man's
What?
go to is to tell women you belong in the kitchen, cooking and cleaning, and
He's very misogynistic.
he's very
Already.
vile human being.
Vile misogynist. Oh boy.
I no rational reason for being no atheist. Y'all haven't thought this stuff through at all.
You haven't
What?
given
Okay,
anything to argue against.
G-Man, here. You still danced over the fact. You still
I didn't
danced
dance over
the
nothing. I
fact.
want you to define your
You
words.
said
That's
that
what I
you
want you to do.
You said that you
Bye,
have
Lily.
empirical evidence that you have a relationship with a deity
Yeah.
that is outside of time and space.
But
I
keep
am
him on.
Of
interested
course I can do that.
specifically in
But
that
before I do
empirical
that,
evidence.
but before I do that, do you know what a
I
deity
No.
is?
say
You
that.
danced around
I
that.
can't do that until you define our
What
words,
is your
ma'am.
empirical?
What is a deity? What is a deity, ma'am? I don't think you know. It's called Google. Go look up the definition. Go look up what the word deity means, and go look up what the word God
just
means.
to humor,
No, it's just
to humor you,
usage.
I'll do that. I'll specifically.
Oh, of course you will. But you don't believe that something exists, and you don't know the definition of the thing. That don't make no sense, ma'am.
I do know the definition.
You know
Can
the
I-
No, you
definition,
don't. I'm
but-
losing a lot of
Deity
confidence
is-
that you know the
deity-
definition.
Can I ask you a question?
It's a
Can I ask you a
synonym.
question?
A deity is a synonym
I'm not
for a
perfect.
god or a goddess.
What?
Okay, so what's a goddess? What's a god? What do they entail?
Well, let's.
And you,
Can
I mean,
you
you guys talk about your
realize
education so much, but you
you
guys
realize how he sidestepped the goddess part.
I didn't even notice that.
He sidestepped
I didn't notice that.
because again that
It
misogynistic
doesn't fit
sort of
into
brain
his
is
misogynistic.
thinking. According to the dictionary, it says there are two. There is. It is a god, known a god or goddess in a polytheistic religion,
Mhm.
a deity of ancient Greece. Another usage is divine status, quality, or nature, a ruler driven by delusions of deity. That's used in more metaphorically. And then the creator and supreme being, in, for example, in a monotheistic religion such as Christianity. Right? So, isn't that she does not know? She does know.
Of course she does. And Robert X talks about at least Lady Aven knows how to cook. I bet G-Man can't even boil an egg. Listen, G-Man goes on about the duty of a woman. He goes to he fights the for his friend Shani. Shani's kids got taken away because those kids had no food to eat. That lady would not get up and go and cook in the kitchen for her children. And G-Man has his mouth to talk. Huh? Telling women that they should be in the kitchen. How about you go and tell that to Shani? You stood there and watched this lady stay on the live stream for hours on end and not cook a meal for her children. And you dare to tell other women who are taking care of their families, who are doing they can easily, they can work out their life in such a way that they've got time to stream, they've got time to be a mom, they've got time to be a wife, a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. They know how to compartmentalize their lives. And here you are defending child abusers. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Justifying a God as something that doesn't exist and was just made up by people. What's he going to do? Except he would not accept that. That's the thing. G-Man would not. You know something? I actually think that G-Man himself doesn't know. When G-Man is asking people to give definitions for a thing, he probably doesn't know it himself, but he's just waiting on the other person to give a definition. So he can easily just, say, oh, I don't agree with that, or he himself doesn't know it. I think with G-Man, you have to ask him, whatever he asks the other person, he needs to define as well. Talk about a God that is outside space and time. Cognitive dissonance is strong with this one. Absolutely, with G-Man. G-Man, cognitive dissonance, synonymous. One and the same. I watched her live, screamed at her 14-year-old son for not wanting to go on camera. G-Man doesn't get to tell me. I've seen your family, Lady Aven. Beautiful family you've got there. Beautiful family. And yet, I've heard you on the stream. You say, guys, I've got to go. It's time for me to go and take care of the little one. She needs me to feed her or something along those lines. Or you're off to go cook for your family, something. I've heard you say these things. And you will cut the stream 1 hour. You're done. Off you go. Ian Davenport, thank you very much for the super chat. And G-Man, of course, G-Man counts people's pockets. When you give money to, because G-Man is planning to do this class action lawsuit. He keeps threatening lawsuits. Just get me in front of a judge. Yes, when I get in front of a judge, by the time I'm done, G-Man craves, he's desperately wanting to go in front of a judge. What exactly he wants to do in front of this judge, I don't know. But Ian Davenport, I bet you'll be one of those people who will be taken in front of a judge. Ian Davenport gave the Afro-Humanist super chat to talk about me.
Thanks, Ian. Thank you, Ian.
It's only know the meaning of the word.
Can I go back to an earlier question? What was the name of the deity that pagans worship that is a sun god? Can you tell me the name of it?
Oh, my Lord. Sir, do you know anything about Egyptology, sir?
No, Egyptology is not the same as paganism, my friend.
Sir, can you go look up the word pagan?
See again. Because when each Chinese asks a question, he's shifting the goalpost every time.
Each time he cannot answer the question. You see what he's doing?
Yeah, dodging.
Now he's on to Egyptology.
Listen.
This guy is so scatterbrained. No wonder he's been hit by 4 cars.
He will
get only a matter of time for the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Goodness.
He will get a trophy for playing dodgeball. The amount of times that he's dodged, he will get a trophy or a gold medal.
Cynthia says, I don't need G-Man in front of a judge. I need him in front of a therapist. For real. Thank you, Cynthia. Cynthia, you shall be taken to the judge. G-Man said in January, I remember this clearly. Last year, I remember G-Man saying, come January, heads were going to roll. Things were going to happen. The atheists are going to be in trouble. G-Man says he has files as long as from here to Japan on the atheists that he's going to present. He said by the time he is done in front of the judge, that the judge would tell him that everything the atheists own belonged to G-Man. January came and went. No sign of this lawsuits.
Oh my gosh.
Shame on that guy.
Might want to have him secured first. He might get violent. Yeah.
Sorry, say that again. What did you just say?
Might have M6 V6 Cyclops says might want to have him secured first. He might get violent.
saying that, I completely agree. This is
Yeah, I
something
agree.
myself and Steve McQueen, manager, have had this conversation. He's becoming steadily unhinged. He is, this guy is not quite. I mean, I would not, I don't diagnose people, but he has threatened to kill. He has threatened to do a lot of heinous things. People
Mm-hmm.
need to watch out for this. Really need to watch out for him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
for him, it's no longer about YouTube. You can't keep it
Mm-hmm.
on here and be done with it. When I come away from here, that's it.
Yeah,
But for him, no, this is whatever drag did to this guy or what the other atheists
expose.
really, no, this guy, no, he just
He's a loose cannon.
is, that's a good word for it, a loose cannon, yes.
Yeah.
Go look up the definition for the word pagan. I feel like I'm talking to kindergartners. Go read the word pagan. Go look at the definition of what a pagan is. If Von Helton was in this room, Von Helton would tell you, well, actually, G-Man's true. G-Man's telling the truth because technically a pagan is someone who believes in something other than Christianity. No, it is not irrelevant. It says when are definitions irrelevant?
Here's my
It
question.
says when are definitions irrelevant?
Here's my question. What is the-
Hang on, say that again. He just said, since when are definitions irrelevant or relevant? It's okay. You don't need to take it back. It's too much to get into. Let's just
Okay. Right.
Yes.
And he just said pagan, right? A person who don't hold a religious belief in Christianity is not just Christianity. It's a person holding religious beliefs other than those of the main world religions.
Did he just say pagan is one who doesn't believe in Christianity?
Yes. That's why I was telling you he might
This
be
guy's
equating that atheists are pagans, and that's why he keep asking what pagan believe.
Oh wow!
I was
Is
like,
is this idea that Christianity is the one and only
only
true religion, and
yeah.
anything outside of that is false? Anything outside. I once lived this life. I once was in there thinking that everyone else was going to hell because they had the wrong religion, or just in it's mind blowing. When I look back and think about my life once upon a time, gosh.
He seems to be using it in the old sense where it came from,
It's
the Latin
definitely
word
old school.
paganus also meant civilian, becoming in Christian Latin heathen. That is one not enrolled in the army of Christ. So his remember he accused them of not using the old definition of atheist.
Oh yes,
he's using pagan in an old definition manner. I tell you the dishonesty.
G-Man is a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite,
man.
Big hypocrite.
And you always get exposed for his hypocritical actions.
Relevance. What is the relevance of this?
I didn't say definitions were irrelevant. I said the people that you're referencing are irrelevant.
The reason why it's relevant, sir, is because you two said that no one's ever proven that a God existed. I don't think you know what a God is. That's my whole point. I don't believe neither one of you have any idea what a God is.
Let me read the definition for you.
Sure.
It's viewed as the supreme being, creative, and principal object of faith.
Could you read that again, please? A little bit slower this time for the audience so they can grasp it.
A supreme being, creator, or a principal object of faith.
Okay, so we got a supreme being and we got an object of faith, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell me why the sun could not be a god?
Because it's not
according to that definition.
It's a fucking star.
Of course it's a star. As a Christian, I would say that's a star. But that doesn't change that is a god for some people. First of all, God's worship, yes or no?
If they want to, okay,
wait.
Let's just quickly address that.
Ma'am, are God's worship, yes or no?
Okay, someone can personally believe the sun is a god. That doesn't make it true. People can believe.
Okay, so in order to do that, ma'am, you have to define what a god is and demonstrate why that's not the case. Because now you're speaking for the pagans. You are speaking.
No. Oh my gosh. And I see again, he's just taking one definition that was given.
Lady Aven just read the definition of God, right? She just
She read one of the definitions. Yeah,
one of
that's
the
given to God.
definitions, but he's completely just ignoring that.
Ignoring.
Because he wants to go revert back to his own version, or his own idea, what he has in his head. This guy is very dishonest.
Dishonest.
He has a goal, and if you try to shift him away from, he's trying to get back to whatever. Because Gman always wins. Any debate or any conversation, Gman always wins, always.
And listen, and some other definitions, right? You have in Christianity and other monotheistic religions, the creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being. That's one definition. A second usage, I can use the word usage because he doesn't understand what they mean by usage. Definitions are usages. And number two, in certain other religions, a superhuman being or spirit worship as having power over nature or human fortunes, a deity. Like, for example, a moon god. So the moon exists, but because of somebody say the moon is a god, they're not saying the necessary physical moon. They're saying that there is a spirit within the moon, or the moon is that spirit. So again, you see, he's again doing his dishonest equivocation.
True. Yes.
And misrepresentation. Even though Lady Aven is trying to point out to him that's what he's doing. He's trying to talk over her, trying to shift the goalposts, not answer the questions because he knows he is wrong.
He's
dishonest.
Wait, does he know he's wrong?
Or he feels he's right?
Does this idiot know he's wrong?
I don't know, but the way that he dishonestly behaves is a possibility. He already knows he's wrong. He doesn't have an argument.
All right.
For the Egyptologists. I'm sorry, but for the person who believes in Egyptology. Then if you're not speaking for them, then define the word and prove that it's not what it is. Go ahead, I'll hear it.
We don't believe in
without borrowing from Christianity, by the way. Without borrowing from my worldview. I would like for you to do that.
She's not born from your worldview.
So why the fuck would it matter?
Okay, so I don't believe in evolution. Is evolution not true?
What does that have to do with God being real?
If I tell you I don't believe in evolution, does that automatically mean evolution isn't true?
Again, we can prove
that's a dumb argument. That's a bad, dumb argument you're using right now.
There's scientific evidence to prove that natural selection takes place and that evolution is a thing. It is a thing that happens.
Okay, but I don't believe in it. Therefore, evolution isn't true. That's the logic that you're using right now.
That's fine.
That's the logic that we're using.
Of course, it's fine.
I talked about this earlier, though.
You're proud about not having definitions.
Even if you disproved evolution and it was incorrect,
that
does not prove that your God is real. It's not relevant.
Oh my God. Ma'am, do you understand how bad you look right now? I basically just said to you that to the pagan, the pagan is worshiping the sun. Wait a minute, hold on a minute.
G-Man, you need to listen.
Now listen, no. What we're not going to do here is come to my stream and insult me when we're trying to have a discussion.
Correct.
Okay, we have not called you names. We have
not you two insulting me.
We have not called you stupid. So you are going to mind your manners, or you're going to be removed from the stream. Are we clear?
Crystal, and you better not disrespect me either.
Wonderful.
Really?
I'm just warning you right now. Do not disrespect me while I'm here. You're gonna have to attitude. I don't want to be overtalked either.
So far is
and I don't want to be overtalked. I want my questions answered.
The entire discussion you have been overtalking.
You're doing the same thing.
You've been overtalking the two of us as well. All three of us.
Anyway, I'm gonna mute. When you guys get your definitions, get back in touch with me. I'm gonna mute. Get your definition straight. Y'all don't know what a god is.
Oh God.
I just.
And he's being so dishonest. So there's no.
She just gave a definition. Anyway, let's just carry on. Carry on.
We just read the definition of a god.
Just did.
Do you have a problem with that particular definition?
No, I don't, because that is that's one of many definitions for a god. But my problem is your logic. Your logic is that because you believe that because you don't believe in the pagan god, you know what I mean? That the God that the pagan is worshiping, that makes you an atheist. I'm sorry, that's not true. You said that no one's ever proven that a God existed. That's what we're talking about now, right? In order for a God to exist, hold on a minute. In order for a God to exist, this is the part that you atheists never get, okay? In order for a God to exist, it must be worshipped. So we're not being specific about the God that we're talking about. We're not being specific about his nature. We're just being very general right now. There are people that worship a God and devote their life to that God. You're going to say that they don't exist. You have not given me a working model with using any sound logic whatsoever to be able to demonstrate that what they worship isn't true.
So you don't believe in any physical. So you don't believe in any physical entity or deity. You only believe in your faith in a book that someone wrote hundreds of thousands of years ago, or a few thousand years ago, or whenever you think the Bible was written off of the timeline that you have created for yourself, and your faith is created for itself. But you don't actually have any physical reference or any kind of evidence for your God. You're just going off of bullshit, basically, and you continue to believe that. But your belief in that is your evidence. Right? Is that about accurate?
Well, I promise, what's her name? Lady Aven. I wasn't going to be disrespectful. So the answer is no. I'm mute.
Huh?
Okay. So I'm just trying to put this together here. So you're saying that because a pagan believes that the sun is a god, then that must mean that the sun is a god. So if we take that logic, that means that anybody can declare anything a god, and that we would have to accept that as being a god. Is that correct?
Partially. Here's the thing. If you as an atheist are going to sit here and say, and you made the mistake saying this, by the way, by saying that that no one's ever proven that a God existed,
right?
And I see a pagan over there worshiping the sun, and to that pagan, that sun is a god to him. What you just said is ridiculously wrong. Okay. Now, if you're going to sit there and say that I'm an atheist because no one's ever proven to me that a God existed, that's a little bit different. Now, do you want to make this about yourself personally, or do you want to make this about everybody?
No, that's word for word.
That's basically what I said though from the beginning.
Okay, so let's go to the precepts. This is what I believe about the Christian guy.
Okay, I thought you said. Okay, I thought you said you weren't going to overtalk me, and I didn't get to finish my sentence. So if we're going to try and yell at us for overtalking, then Gman needs to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should have saw this one coming a mile away. The guest should be coming here soon. But anyway, the bottom line is, at the end of the day, man, you know that God exists as well as your husband. You just suppress the truth about God and unrighteousness.
No.
Tell me something.
See, and this is the problem I had.
I wasn't finished, ma'am. I was in the middle of talking. I'm not finished.
I know, and I know that. No. I am going to explain this to you. Okay, you do not get to sit there and assert what I believe to me. You do not know what my belief is, so you do not have the right to sit there and tell me what I do or do not believe. Because I'm not sitting there claiming that you don't believe in a God and that you're just making it all up. Okay, so let's just get that straight. I do not believe any gods are real, so you do not get to sit there and assert to me what my own beliefs are.
Correct.
Ma'am, do you know what the presuppositional argument is?
Again.
Do you know what no, I'm not going to try again. You already know what I was going to say. Do you know what the presuppositional argument is?
Which one?
Do you know what the presuppositional argument is, ma'am?
Which one?
I heard you the first time, and I asked you which one.
Without God, you can't make any sense. Without God, you can't make any sense with your worldview. And I'm going to stick to what I said. You know that God exists. You just suppress it in unrighteousness.
No. We're not going to play this game. We are not going to play this game. You do not get to assert what my beliefs are. You are not in my head.
Correct.
You do not know how I think. You do not get to sit there and tell me what I do or do not believe. So this is your last warning. The next time you're out for good.
Wait, let me sum up Gman's point.
So let me get this straight here real quick. So basically, I got to say what you want me to say, and I can't give you my reasons why God exists, is what you're telling me. Your position is weak, ma'am.
No. The only problem I have with you is you trying to tell me what I believe. That's
How about I talk to your husband for a while and not talk to you no more, since you're clearly not strong enough to deal with me on this.
Well, yeah. Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
No, we're not going to be disrespectful in my stream. That's just not how we're going to play that.
Correct.
Well done. Yes,
Well
Lady
done.
Aven. Yes. Yes.
See the misogyny there just now.
Why don't
She's
I
on
talk
the
to your husband?
Vile.
Because you're not strong enough to deal with me. Who the hell do you think you are?
You are, yes.
Clown.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking moron.
Yep. That was a
It was
Definitely.
a dick move.
Yeah.
It's an idiot.
Yep.
Deserve to be thrown out of there.
Yep.
Talk to women as if, what do you think you are?
Wow.
What's a clown? And well done, Lady Aven, for not taking his
Taking
nonsense and have honest conversations with this idiot.
And then claiming they were very respectful towards
Very respectful. Husband and wife.
Yes, both. Jeez.
No, like, I don't have a problem with him telling me what he believes, but I have a real issue when Christians come in and sit there and have the audacity or the audacity to tell me what my own beliefs are. Like, they know my own beliefs better than I do.
That's what they always
like,
love
that's
to
just
do.
plain old arrogance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. And then to sit there and tell me that he's not going to answer me and he's going to talk to my husband in my own
Comrade
stream.
Aven.
You know?
I don't think so. We don't play that.
Hi, Command.
He only wants to talk to me because I'm
Comrade
drinking
Aven.
and not making coherent arguments.
Yeah, absolute nut job.
Just
But, like,
laughing.
This was just basically here. I'm gonna pull up the conversation that we had.
He-
I want to thank
he
everybody
really-
that joined in.
He really likes
like,
to hear himself talk a lot.
Oh, he does. He absolutely does.
That's what.
But
Okay, just
I've
stop.
got 26 people
Stop for a
in here.
second.
And
Hold
I'm
on.
so
Just stop for a second. So Gman was talking about anything people worship is a god, right? If you worship something, it's a god. So Khalifa says, if I worship my pinky toe, is it God? I could decide to worship my breasts because
Yeah.
I'm endowed with them. So I can decide, okay, because I'm heavily endowed. Here we go. How about I don't know. I know. Okay, that's a very bad, very bad example. That's really bad. Right? I can decide to worship Phil's bald head. All hail the bald.
All hail the bald.
Now, that could have got me killed. When Isaiah, was it Isaiah?
Oh,
or
yeah, no,
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. Yeah.
These children calling him Baldy. And guess what? He just got the bears to just kill all of them. Huh? Prophet my ass.
My afro is my God.
Afro, yes. Yes, your afro. Anything can be God. Anything.
Oh gosh. Oh boy.
That guy.
Judge says that's a God that I can worship.
It's a God you can
Oh my goodness. Oh
so
god.
sorry that I got so distracted that I didn't. And like, Drag was messaging me on Facebook. Drag, I did see your messages, but I was so like all over the place that.
I am sorry.
Oh, look at this. Wait. This is fantastic. So I kicked him out, but he's got the audacity to message me on Skype.
What?
And say, let's do the same thing. You know God exists, and you just suppress the truth.
Oh
to do
god.
the dishes and let them. Wow. So we're
Whoa.
Wow. He blocked me.
Pause there. Of course, he's going to block you, because he doesn't have the balls, what do I call it? The fortitude, right? The testicular fortitude to face Lady Aven.
Yes, and
he's a
whatever.
coward.
Now, this is where I'm going to insert here that God has chosen Gman, right? Because God selects his people to deliver his message. And God specifically chose this one to do this. So it goes to show what kind of useless God that God is. To choose someone like Gman to speak for him, to choose Gman as his representative. Gman is damaging Christianity on a daily basis. I love it for Christianity. Well done. Kudos. The Christians that support this man, you guys I don't know. Look, when I was a Christian, yes, I met some really, really, hateful Christians, Bible thumping, vile. But my goodness, Gman is on a completely different level.
Yeah, that's why I said, yeah.
He's on a completely different. I think that's where the fascination comes in. And from the day I heard that person call in the Atheist Experience defending slavery, saying that if God says slavery is okay, he is okay with slavery. That's when I knew what I needed to know who this guy was and what he was talking about, because I needed to know. And I am not, I'm not surprised. Look where he is, stuck in a rut. Look at him. Everyone he name drops, you hear him. He's talking about bionic dance. I don't even know who bionic dance is. Well, I've since figured who bionic dance is. the drunken peasants. It talks about all these people. They've all moved on. These people are in different phases. They're doing really well. G-Man is still stuck where he is,
stuck in his
not
own
moving
little
forward.
world.
Doesn't
Stuck in
even
his
have
own
doesn't
delusion.
even have a woman. Doesn't have. He had to pay 1,300. No, I don't remember how much it was. It
How
was
much it was?
£1,300 just to have someone just sleep with him. And after he was done, he said she smelled like what was it? He said she smelled like God. I don't remember what he said she smelled like. So he paid 1,300 for someone who smells like God. I've forgotten. Steve McGray manager will help me. What a loser! What an absolute loser! Failure.
Dean Kruger.
God has really
If
fucked
God
up
chooses
big
G.
time. God just fucked up.
A comedy of errors, as I keep saying. Comedy over comedy of errors.
No, but this is good. This is good for Christianity.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh my goodness.
So what I'm going to do in the near future, I'm going to get some African Christians who have never seen G-Man before. Right? Some friends of mine, African Christians, and get them on here and show them G-Man and just ask what their opinions are.
Yeah.
Say, okay, look, here's a Christian who is representing Christianity over on YouTube. Not those group of Christians he calls Christians, right? A different subsection of Christians, because Christians, it's one mess of a religion.
Yeah.
No one knows who the real Christian is. Everyone just has their own version of the thing. They just out there, scattered. Just the religion is one hell of a mess. It is so laughable. But never mind. I'll get some of them, a few of them, to come and review. I wouldn't say anything. I would just let them see G-Man in action, speaking about Christianity, and they tell me what they think. I would do that. It would be a live stream.
Yep.
What's an idiot?
Yeah.
Yes, $1,300, and she smelled like rotten.
Yeah, that's what he said.
G-Man paid $1,300 to have a lady with him just for one night of sex.
And I'm sure she did not smell like that. She probably smelled really good.
Yeah,
but G-Man, he, as usual, have to be misogynistic and nasty. And he was just being nasty.
It was being nasty.
That's his MO. Like rotten meat. That's his MO.
Yeah.
And whatever he says, always look at the opposite. Especially when it's a nasty saying about a woman. The opposite is the truth.
If he tells me that Shani smells like rotten meat, that I can believe.
Oh,
that I would believe.
Yeah.
Talked to me too, or removed me, one of the two. So he had to get in that comment of, I'm a woman, so I got to get in the kitchen and...
No, carry on. Yes, it's going to
happen. Do the dishes before he blocked me. Wow, what a man!
Total,
I guess women scare him so much that he's got to get that dig in there. Wow. Well, I mean, he's a very small in stature, so he feels like he's got to make up his manliness by being toxic, so.
I didn't get any good digs in. I'm a little disappointed. He talked so fucking much that I couldn't make any good comments on it. Every time I saw him make a stupid point, I was like, oh, I can make a point on this, but he wouldn't shut the fuck up for 2 seconds for me to say anything.
I know. That's why near the end I just started kind of like muting him because he just wouldn't stop, But
that's
like
how he wins fights.
But like he just kind of dodged over like all of the questions. Like that was one of the things that Drag was saying when he was messaging me, like press him on empirical evidence, which is why I kept saying empirical evidence. And he admitted that yes, he has empirical evidence that he has a relationship with an imaginary being that exists at a time and space. But wow, we got to move on to another topic and move away from that because he didn't want to actually provide it because ultimately he didn't have anything.
Well, he did actually very clearly. His entire belief system is based. He said it very honestly that his entire belief system, it's not actually a god or any deity. It's not a physical entity of any sort. It is just the amalgamation of faith of all the collective people that believe in any one particular God, quote unquote. And that
right.
is,
And I mean, like, right. And I understand where he was trying to go with the whole pagans worship the sun and all that stuff. And it's basically, he was getting to, well, the pagans believe the sun is a god, and the definition of a god is to have faith in something. So that must mean the sun is a god. So how could I say that a god doesn't exist when the pagans believe the sun is a god? But he doesn't realize that basically that would mean anything could be declared a god. And if somebody believes it a god, then that automatically must mean it's a god.
Yeah.
And that's just not how that works.
Stop that. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is, because Gman was hurt that Lady Aven kicked him out, which he definitely deserved that, and well done to Lady Aven. Guess what Gman decided to do? He was off on his channel to go and cry.
Rant.
He was to go and
Cry, rant.
Like the baby that he
is.
So we will go over and check out the nonsense he was spewing on his channel.
Send the
URL now.
Link. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that now. Jeez. I don't know if this is the caliber of Christian apologists. That's why people are leaving Christianity in their droves.
Jeez.
That's why they're losing. In the UK here, churches are being closed down. Churches are being the people are buying churches empty. And they're being used now for houses, for event centers, just different things. You need the church I went to before I became an atheist, right? You couldn't even feel the church hall. No one goes to church no more. Make sure to put him on 1.25. Look at him. Okay. Before he starts, he even has tissue for his tears. Sad, pathetic, weak individual. Look at this.
Okay, and I knew what was going on in her heart. But Lady Aven, this is why I don't like talking
what was going on in her heart. This idiot. Man.
You see, it's still, and you see what the title he has.
What does he have there?
Laden. Not lady. Laden. Aven activates PMS mode.
No, not the PMS mode. What's wrong with this guy? He's the one. Who is the one who's activating the PMS mode? Him.
Yeah.
You guys know how to control your emotion, okay? Your emotions. This just is a Kleenex for your crocodile tears or whatever. But anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel. And today, what I want to do is I want to talk about my discussion with Lady Aven just real quick. Since I got muted multiple times, which is no surprise. I kind of expect that when I'm dealing with atheists, which is why I do it to them so much when they come to my channel. Now that you guys see it happening on somebody else's platform, you guys can see why I do it on mine, right? But anyway,
really,
we was discussing whether or not God existed earlier today. We had a Skype conversation, and not a Skype conversation, the texting back and forth. And I personally believe that the conversation was all over the place. I think when you're having a debate about
all over the place because you went shifting goalposts so many times. So he's not saying that he's responsible, that he's the one doing it. He's trying to make it look as if it's Lady Aven. Then she was trying to keep on track, trying to get him to answer the question. Wow, dishonest fuck.
Whether or not God exists according to these atheists. I think that people get caught up in their emotions a lot with this discussion. When we're talking about proof, for example, that there are life on other planets, people don't get really emotional about that. When we talk about people having evidence that a person can live to a certain age, people don't really get this emotional. You know what I mean? They bring whatever they have and they discuss it like adults. When people talk about evidence that a person is the thing that they claim, they don't really get emotional like that until you deal with atheism, where they pretend that they want evidence for the lack of belief of God, and they really don't. And I've been saying this on here since my first year on YouTube, that they don't give a hoot about no evidence. Okay, they don't even know what the word means. And you know what I'm going to do for this particular channel? Since atheists will not articulate what these words mean, since atheists will not sit down and talk about these things, I, G-Man, will. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to teach you guys what evidence is. I'm going to teach you guys what a God is again.
Really?
And I'm going to teach all of you again why atheism is stupid. Okay? The bottom line is, at the end of the day, Lady Haven and her husband made a rookie mistake, the same mistake a lot of other atheists make who are not used to debating. And they said that no one's ever proven that a God existed, and then put a period at the end of that. Okay? Bottom line is, at the end of the day, guys, God is proven to exist in a scientific a long time ago. Already showed that with Christmas is a Lie and the playlist they did on the truth of atheism. I did that a billion different times already, so I'm not even going to go through all of that again. Most of them don't even know what the word God means. Okay, what the word, how I use a deity or a God when I'm talking about it is not going to be the same when you're talking to a pagan. Pagan isn't going to, and when I say a pagan, I mean like a Von Helton or whatever, right? And Von Helton's definition is not going to be the same as a person who's in Islam. Okay, and their definition isn't going to be. So when you hear them say things like no one's ever proven that a God exists, it's stupid. There are people out there that worship poop. There are people out there that worship urine. There are people that go out there and they worship the star. No, they say, well, it's a star. Well, duh, that is a star. Most people worshiping the star knows that it's a star. They still worship it as a god. The Egyptians used to worship the Nile River. You'll say it's not a god because it's water and it's a river, it's a body of water.
And they thought it was the God.
You know what I mean? And it's like they know it's a body of water, but they worship it as God. And there are reasons that they worship these things that God means idolatry. It's not of God. It's not of the God of the Bible, or whatever. But they do it because they believe that this river is going to provide healing properties. So if somebody might worship the sun because the sun is responsible, because they believe that they worship the sun, it's going to cause their crops to grow. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because when we're talking about atheism atheism and whether or not God exists, we're dealing with atheism and theism. Theism and Christianity are not the same thing. So they was like back and forth between saying that universally there's no God and then specifically focusing on Christianity all over the place.
No,
and
whatnot. They were not.
Without defining their terms, without setting rules and parameters for the discussion.
You're supposed
getting overly emotional, Lady Haven. Again, here's your Kleenex.
Really?
Because you don't know what you're doing when you're having a conversation with another adult.
Really? You're not
the bottom line is, at the end of the day, even my Bible teaches that there are other gods. However, we call them false gods, we call them idols, we call them things masquerading as gods, but they're really demons or whatever. You know what I mean? Even my Bible teaches me this. This is what happens when you're ignorant about other religions.
No one cares about your silly book.
Yeah.
Your silly book of tales.
And he's even misrepresenting
the book is misrepresenting the book.
Some part is the book, because it's not the development. There's a development in thinking in the Old Testament over hundreds of years, where when you look at the they had a belief that other gods exist, but their God was a supreme God. Then eventually, as Christianity as it progressed, then it became, there are no other gods.
So
and Christianity
polytheistic, polytheistic then developed all the way, and then
all the way it is a progression. Monotheistic. There's no other gods, and then the Christians say, "Oh, those are demons. Those are idols. There are demons behind that." Before that, in the Old Testament, there was not this concept of demons. Right? And that's one thing I noticed in looking at the Bible, studying it as it should, and looking at the when you look at what was going on around the time in the Middle East, the ancient Middle East. So that's why I keep saying he does not even have a clue about his own fable book. So he's lumping everything into one, which fundamentalist Christians normally do. Which I, as a fundamentalist Christian, would have done, because a certain assumption is made. Well, this is the whole word of God, and it does not contradict.
Terrible arguments.
That you only know about
terrible arguments.
Absolutely hilarious, guys. So, Lady Haven, I got you a Kleenex here. So learn how to formulate an argument. Okay, learn how to formulate an argument. All right. If the atheist is going to sit there and say no one's ever proven to you that God exists, you should probably know what the word means. If the definition, if you look up the definition like she did, and it's telling you that a God is an object of worship, that is a superhuman being, then in order for you to have a sound, logical argument to say that thing is not a God, you got to be able to define the term and show why those things are not those things. And atheists cannot do that. They're too busy trying their hardest to stay away from their burden of proof. The other argument that I wanted to point out to Lady Aven, whatever her name is, Lady Aven, that I wanted to point out to her was this. The difference between an atheist and a agnostic. Atheism is really positive atheism at the end of the day. These atheists that claim that there's no such thing as a God, they can't prove that there's no God. They have a faith that God doesn't exist. They demonstrate that they have a religion, okay? An agnostic is somebody that goes out there and says that I don't know if God exists, or they don't believe that
and they are atheists. It's
possible to prove that God exists. It has to do with knowledge. Whereas an atheist just goes out there and just makes a stupid claim like Bugs Bunny going, "The soul, folks," or whatever, whoever does that or whatever. And they go out there and they make the claim
You're doing what the fundamental church loves to do.
God doesn't exist. God doesn't exist. How do you know? No one's ever provided any. Stop it. Stop it.
Nobody has.
I start playing videos of atheists leaving atheism for Christianity.
Is he saying there?
Ian Davenport unhappily slapping. Unhappily.
Yeah.
This is a clown.
A clown. Because
I don't do violence. I don't, I already said here, my own kind of punishment brings pleasure. The kind of punishments we give around here, if you're not getting some pleasure from it, it's no punishment. Right? But for Gman, I'll make an exception. I'll make an exception because my gosh, this is
see, again, he doesn't understand the difference between agnostic Gnosticism knowledge and the term atheism. And even though they will have told him this is what we believe, or so, or an atheist will say, this is, I don't accept your claim that God exists. Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's trying to straw man over and over agnosticism and agnosticism and atheism. He's straw manning to suit his narrative.
Yes.
To create this straw man. And he's created a straw man that he can't even pull down. Because he have no evidence.
No.
Nothing.
None.
And saying, right, because someone who claims that they do not believe at all, they have knowledge that is not any God that exists, they probably have some really good evidence which convince them that this God or these gods don't exist. And there is evidence that might suggest strongly that God doesn't exist. Same way, that you believe, we don't believe in fairies or Bigfoot without the evidence. That's what we are saying. The evidence needs to be provided, so you don't accept Bigfoot exists. There's no good evidence for Bigfoot. Same way with fairies, right? And some persons take it on faith. Some Celtic groups take it on faith. The elves and these creatures exist. But in the same way, we don't believe, and I'm sure he don't believe that those exist. Although he will call them demons. He will believe they do exist, I suspect, but he will call them demons based on the way he's speaking. But Bigfoot and those, no. But he doesn't get that through his head. So he has a straw man. Atheism has a straw man agnosticism in order to claim they can't defend the position and all sorts of crap.
Because their burden of proof was met then you all would be saying something different. This is why I constantly call atheists stupid. What kind of an intelligent person gets involved in the discussion about whether or not something exists without defining your terms? If I had a discussion with you about aliens, right? And I said that that the aliens,
they asked him to define God, define this, and he refused. He just switch and dodge, trying to shift the burden of proof more to Bunny.
existed, and you say, well, I don't believe that there's life on other planets. I'm gonna say I wasn't talking about life on other planets. I was talking about life in other countries. I was talking about illegal aliens. Then you will look stupid for not defining your terms. First, you have to define your terms. Words have more than one meaning, you know, and not everybody who
us. Then you
just hang on one second.
Go ahead.
So, Motor Bunny, the art of sex experimentation.
Ooh.
Sex experimentation. And the pictures I'm seeing here, okay.
Oh.
What on earth?
Oh, they say it is a trusting sex machine.
This is not going to be cheap. Whatever this is not going to be cheap. I might invest in one tomorrow.
No. It's US 1,000.
No way! For
so
what?
US 1,649.
For this thing, sex experimentation.
Only saddle vibrator in existence with two emotions.
Oh,
saddle vibrator.
Wow. No, honey, let's do it.
Oh, there's a ride on top. Pony, there's a saddle vibrator.
Waiting, come on, jump on it.
Okay, I see what it looks like. It looks almost like a mailbox.
I'm sure we can show the pictures.
Yes, of course.
Why not? It's an adult channel. Can you want to show it?
I can show it. I can show it. Let me
I'm done with this Gman video because there's something else I want to play after this.
Okay.
Just a really short clip of something.
Okay, let me stop sharing there. Let me pull this over here.
Pony, let's do it.
And
riding my pony, my saddle's waiting, coming, jump on it. Hey.
Too bad. Okay, where is it? Where? Oh, I got it.
That was your tune, man. Hey, yes. Ooh, that song got many people pregnant. That song did.
Right, so that's what these of those look like, and some like they come with different features, right? Features. No fixtures on for them. Look, to go on top, like this one over here.
So Carnivorous Ape, has he got one of these?
Oh,
Carnivorous Ape, I would not be surprised. Probably has 10.
Wow.
Probably has 10 of these.
Wow. Yeah, and they come in different colors.
Okay.
It seems like there's the brown. This that's more clear.
Now, religion. Anything to do with sex and pleasure. God does not. God particularly doesn't like people enjoying pleasure.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
He frowns on that. That's I don't know what it is. When people are having some form of pleasure, he's very unsettled up there. So can you imagine his children, God's children, having one of these? He would lose it altogether. Yeah. Not only would he be there watching, he lose it altogether. But hey.
Always. Oh my gosh. So those are the different.
I do not have 10 of them. You have one.
Yeah, one, but the different parts.
You know what, guys? I'm going to my Amazon wish list.
Oh, one,
I'm
two,
going
two,
to put
one.
it on my
No.
Amazon wish. I don't know if they have it on Amazon. And
Yeah,
I'll
it's on
try
Amazon. It's on Amazon.
and I'll come and give anyone who gets it for me. I'll come and give you feedback.
Look, it is on Amazon. Amazon UK.
Listen, you know those Christians who my friends and family who are still Christians,
Do the
right? Who
prices. I
who
can't see the
think
price.
who think that I left Christianity because I want to sin. Imagine them listening to
Oh,
me now, they'll be like, no wonder she's no longer a Christian.
this is a guide.
That's what she did it for. She did it because she wanted to go talk about these things.
This is a guide.
What
That one I just showed is a guide.
is a guide? I didn't see
Yeah,
it. I
to
was busy
how.
talking.
Wait, hold on.
Phil, be careful, don't show anything.
No, it's a guide.
Ah.
It's a guide. This one is a guide. This one is a guide to
Steve
show you
be
how
great.
to use it. Yeah, to show you how to use it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this is a quick video. Just G-Man's very last stream from last night. It was something he said.
Listen, use the Amazon Smile account. When
Account.
you do that, the ACA and the Black Non-Believers is on there.
What does that mean? I don't. What does that mean?
The main purchasing.
What does that mean, though?
Because the ACA and Black Non-Believers will get some of the money. I think goes to charity.
So what do I need
or
to do?
them.
What do I need to do?
Because
I need to make.
Smile
I need
account.
to today. So when I got my new what do you call it, internet, when I switched over the internet, there was an offer, £100 Amazon voucher.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's coming soon, hopefully. So,
okay.
So what am I supposed to do, Cynthia? You need to let me know what I need to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
She can hit you up in the chat.
All right. I'll put my my wish list. Someone might want to get me the no, but okay. Priorities. No, I just lost my dad. My dad about 3 weeks ago. The man's not buried yet. So priorities. Esther, just stop. Esther, the man's still to be buried. Leave your sex bunnies, whatever these things are called.
Hi, Randolph.
Any money I get would go towards Dad's funeral. So. Okay. Hey, Randolph. Good to see you. Khalifa.
Good to see you.
Thank you, Khalifa. Okay, so this is a quick. Let me share this. I'll share this here.
Yeah.
Right. So G-Man did a stream. Was it today or yesterday? Yesterday, I think. And him, going off on the atheists. And I think this stream is titled Atheism, the reaction channels exposed, what they really are doing. It's something that he said that really got my ears going. So all right, let me do this here. Okay.
Then you can't turn around and say you're a liar, because I didn't say that. I'm
sorry, let me take this back. Okay.
You can't get upset if I repeat those things or criticize you. You can't go, "Oh, you're wrong, you're a liar." You can't say that to me, because I am just criticizing I'm just criticizing Shanny and Red for what they saying. They saying those things.
Why I can? And you want to know why I can? And you want to know?
I'm honest, yeah.
Because you know when you're talking that you're falsifying information. That you guys are acting like you know things when you don't.
So listen to what I just said. If said
though.
All right. I'm gonna put it in a way that you probably understand.
Did you hear what I just said though? It ain't just trying to rephrase it. You heard what I said. If you don't have all information and you're going on your channel acting like you know what you're talking about, and then you start saying, "Well, we know that this is happening. I'm not going to give up my source. This happened. And I'm listening to you, and I go in the room and say none of that stuff that you said is true. And then
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is if I'm watching a video of Shannon telling me saying something personal about you, and I comment on that and I criticize her for that, and I criticize you because she said that, then you can't turn around and say you're a liar. Because I didn't say that. I'm just criticizing her and I'm just commenting on her saying
that's not what they're doing though. What they're doing is that they're reviewing these videos and they're giving dishonest takes on what they're watching. Okay, they'll sit there and say that they know for a fact that this was going on before all this stuff started happening, and then they'll say that this is what really happened. No, this is why we have things called disclaimers, and this is honestly one of the reasons
guys,
why
I habitually
call these people stupid on the internet, because they get on here and they talk as if it's facts.
Wow.
I might need to send you this.
Yeah.
Right.
And say that what they're talking about is true without saying that, well, here's a disclaimer.
Hang on. Okay. I might need to say, let me send it to you.
Or putting something there that can protect their behind, saying that they don't necessarily believe everything that the person's saying or whatever. When you don't do things like that, and you guys get on here and you run your mouth like you know what you're talking about, and then you confront me, hey, G man, I heard you.
Let me put this here. Okay, there you go.
All right, let me pull that up. And which it was at, you can remember, 114.
I'm on
114.43.
114.43.
Yeah. All right. Oh gosh, hold on a minute. Something is blocking my. Yep. There. Share. Right. C. 5. Okay, let me send it back slightly. Right there.
Something there that can protect their behind, saying that they don't necessarily believe everything that the person's saying or whatever. When you don't do things like that, and you guys get on here and you run your mouth like you know what you're talking about, and then you confront me, hey, G man, I heard you again. And I'm like, I don't know what you heard that, but that's not true. Do you want to know how I feel about the topic? I can tell you, but you might not like what you hear. I'm Old Testament when it comes to that.
Okay, G-Man.
Do not
the gay thing came from. You know what originated.
So listen, guys.
It's not from your dream. I hate when people say that it's from you're dreaming in the bathroom stall. It's not. The gay thing, you being a homosexual started from. There's nobody would think that you're homosexual. Everybody tries to say you're bisexual, but that started from you saying that you have to pray away gay thoughts on a daily basis. I'm just telling you.
I understand. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. When you hear that, when people, why is it that when Zuckel and other Christians heard me say that, they understand that demons were planting things in my mind, whereas you guys hear it and you think that's what I'm actually interested in?
Okay, stop. Just stop 1 second. So what G-Man is saying here, right? People accuse G-Man of being gay or being bisexual, right? And G-Man is saying that people are being, they're being disingenuous for calling him that. But his friend is telling him that this didn't come just out of nowhere. It was something you said, G-Man. You said that you actively pray away gay thoughts. You have to pray for those gay thoughts to be taken away, right? And now, this idea about demons, can you just take that back just a few seconds to hear? I don't know how demons put in your mind, in your thoughts about gay thoughts. Now, this is just a question for those of you who are straight men. Well, I don't believe in demons anyway, but how is this? Is this something you think about if you're a straight man? How do you? I don't even know how I'm going to ask the question. You don't dream, if you're a straight man,
They
you don't
don't.
dream about having sex with two men dressed in army clothing.
I
They're
mean,
about to rape you. How does this work?
how the, you know?
Unless it's something you've been thinking about, or this is something that you've
Probably he's been
been
thinking about in his
exactly.
mind.
And Steve McRae, manager, thank you very much. I just seen the Cash App. I appreciate you. Thank you. We'll go towards the funeral. Thank you. Thank you. It's very expensive. The funeral is going to cost. I think one of these days I will come and talk about culture and how when people when people talk about culture and how they must hold on to cultures and the things that they hold. This is our culture. We've got to do it this way. We've got to. My dad died alone. My dad died alone. But when I say alone, I mean there was hardly anyone there. And now you want to have a 3-day funeral.
Wow.
3-day funeral for someone who died alone. How does this? Where's the sense in this? Because he was the eldest, because he was a man of this prestige, and he was. Who cares?
Gosh. Yeah.
Anyway. Let me. Okay. Oh, sorry. Did I? Are you the one playing that?
Yeah. Remember, I can.
All right. Go on. Go on.
They understand that demons were planting things in my mind, whereas you guys hear it and you think that's what I'm actually interested in. I'm just curious.
Demons were playing things in Gman's mind.
But you guys think,
think you understand.
So, guys, this is something we need to talk about. How do demons, Afro-humanists, is there a GoFundMe? Oh, okay. No, there isn't. There isn't one. That's something I might talk to my siblings about. We'll see. And when she died suddenly, well, my dad didn't die suddenly. He was an old man. But he just didn't have any plans. So we're having to make all the plans and trying to do everything, every single thing. So Anyway. Okay.
That demons were planting things in my mind, whereas you guys hear it and you think that's what I'm actually interested in. I'm just curious.
G-Man. See, I don't think you understand. I think I'm just telling you where it originated from. Now you want me to break it down? You want me to break it down to you?
That's actually a good example of what I'm talking about. You see?
Okay, I'm gonna break it down.
They will review a video that I made, or Shanny will make, or D-Roy has made, or Negs and DC Media Girl, or anybody else for that matter. And what they'll do is that they will give a dishonest take on what they're hearing. Then they will attempt to try to convince other people that that's true. Lubitsch tried that trash when he came in here saying, "Oh, they're just teasing you. They're just teasing you." Not when you're trying to convince other people that that's true.
All right. Well,
would you like to see why I know this?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you.
You can go to Smalley's YouTube channel. You can go to Dante Fortson. You can go to several other people in which they tried to convince them that this was true. BGTV tried to convince people that this was true. And I'm like this. I'm like, okay, fine. You people want to go around here and do that stuff and whatnot. Bet. This is my response. I'm going to create a channel on a different platform. It's going to be called God Hates FAGS. You know what I mean? And I'm going to spend. I'm going to do nothing on that YouTube platform. Not on that YouTube platform. On that channel platform, and do nothing but bash LGBTQ into the ground and talk about why their rights need to be taken away from them.
Really?
And then when the teasing stops, I'll stop doing it.
Okay,
really?
Well,
that's the thing. That's the thing. If these people care so much about equal rights on here, then they better start acting like it. Because they're getting the wrong one upset about it. That's true.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the perception on why people alluded to you probably being bisexual. Because when you say you have to pray away gay thoughts, people start saying you're a heterosexual man. Why is the demons putting gay thoughts in your head? Period. Why they not putting thoughts of you robbing banks or you going out there and stabbing people or something like crazy?
Dream, my friend. They do. They. Let me tell you something.
The demons do it too.
I put that stuff in my head was.
Oh my goodness.
The demons put in Gman's mind thoughts of robbing banks.
Thanks.
These demons are fantastic.
Oh yeah,
These
blame all
demons
the
put
demons.
in his mind gay thoughts. So guys, this I'm throwing this out there. If you're a straight man, how many times have you had demons putting in your thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, help me with this question. I'm trying to figure how do I ask this? For the straight men there, how many times do you get these kind of thoughts planted into you, whether by demons or
I
whether
know
by...
the planted.
And
By
for
what?
me, listen, for me, this is what I would say. I would rather people own with their full chest who they are. If G-Man is gay, if he's bisexual, whatever sexual he is, own it with your full chest. And this is where your religion prevents you from being the person who you really are. That must be hard. That must be hard. Now we're talking about demons inserting things inside our minds. G-Man, live your life. We review your videos, but we don't hate you.
Nope.
However vile, however ugly and horrendous sometimes you are, we don't hate you. We would rather you live your true existence. There's life to be enjoyed. There's life to be lived. These religions, they restrict you, right? They put you in shackles. For what? One life we have to live, one. And you're not even sure you have the right God. You're not sure you have the right religion. Just suffering for a non-existent being. Why do we do this to ourselves?
Wow. My gosh.
There's also the demons I was putting in my head that I should go get a semi-automatic rifle and go destroy Mr. Broken at Silvis and Chanting for Christ and Revelation News when the whole house issue happened, and several other people in this community. You understand what I'm saying?
Did
I'm
you hear that?
I understand that.
Did you hear
I
that?
didn't hear that clearly.
Take it back, please. So these demons have put in G-Man's mind gay thoughts. They've also put in his mind thoughts of robbing banks. Now the same demons have put in his mind he should get a revolver and go and shoot Dragnot.
Whoa.
Very gay thoughts. People start saying you're a heterosexual man. Why is the demons putting gay thoughts in your head? Period. Why they not putting thoughts of you robbing banks or you, you know,
Can you take me off the screen?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, no, I can even do it myself. Sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right. Yeah.
Or something like crazy.
Dream, my friend. They let me tell you something. These same demons that put that stuff in my head was also the demons I was putting in my head that I should go get a semi-automatic rifle and go destroy Mr. Broken at Silvis and Chanting for Christ and Revelation News when the whole house issue happened, and several other people in this community. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a Christian. I understand that demons put that stuff in our heads. So I have to repent of that stuff. And I'm like, you want to know what? Not repent. My bad. I have to pray away that stuff. You guys have
I haven't had it happen yet.
These atheists have no idea how close I can.
Really?
No.
He had to repent because remember he said, "I come and shoot you up and blah 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 blah."
Yes. So now it's the demons that made him do that.
Yeah,
so
I say no. He don't have to repent to that. You know?
And this is where Christians will excuse anything. Anything can be excused by just saying it is the demons. It was the devil. The devil made me do it. This guy is here talking about demons, putting in his thoughts, getting a revolver and going to shoot Dragnot. This is a threat. This guy is a walking threat. This G-Man, forget this whole Christianity, atheism. This is gone beyond this whole Christian atheism talk now.
Yeah.
Gosh, this guy needs to be careful. Who knows what these demons will make him do?
Yeah.
This is just...
Then will say the demons made me do it.
Exactly.
They have no idea Like I said, they're behind their computer screens and they think they're safe. I know who half these people are now, so please.
Did you hear that?
You see that? Look, bit. Hold on.
Did you hear that?
He knows who these people
Understand that
are.
demons put that stuff in our heads. So I have to repent of that stuff. And I'm like, you want to know what? Not repent. My bad. I have to pray away that stuff. You guys have
I haven't had it happen yet.
These atheists have no idea how close I came to doing certain things. They have no idea. Like I said, they're behind their computer screens and they think they're safe. I know who half these people are now, so please.
But why see this?
I mean, Gman proves the point,
Yeah.
and this is where atheists are a minority. Christianity have numbers on their side, but the atheists are a small minority. Can you imagine being an atheist, just trying to live your life, trying to just live your existence? You've walked away from God, you've walked away from all that nonsense, just trying to live your life. Dragnet is there, just trying to, be a father for his child, be a husband to his wife. And for the simple fact that he's an atheist and reviews videos on YouTube, now he's getting death threats. I bet Gman is a Christian apologist, right?
Yeah.
So is this what Christianity is about? Is this it?
Huh.
See, this is another thing, bro. Why like trying to scare people up? If you already know the type of man you are, you don't have to say nothing to them no more.
Hey, GP, let me get back on the topic of my video here and talk about
get back on the topic.
The real reason that these reaction channels exist. I want to get back to my topic.
What's the real reason?
The real beef is this. Why do you choose to react to create channels to react to you?
That's it, really.
Why do you choose?
But do I do it?
Yeah.
Why?
That's it. Just wanted folks to hear. This was a stream he did just last night.
Oh.
Yeah, and his friend GB is saying, look, the atheists who you accuse of calling you gay and all these things, they didn't just come up from you. You didn't come from nowhere. It came from you, G-Man. You're the one who talked about praying away gay thoughts. It's okay to be gay. Black men can be gay too.
Yeah.
Black men can be gay. It's okay. It's okay to be gay. Gosh,
man.
Religion.
Religion. Religion poisons everything.
Everything. That's right.
It's poisonous. It's cancerous. It's God virus, a virus, and a dangerous one.
Absolutely. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. I won't sit here and say, gay man, you are gay. Gay man, because I don't know. No one knows. No one knows. And even if I do know, what business of mine is it? What business of mine is it? Live your life. Do you enjoy your life? You don't have to pay $1,300 for sex. Just find yourself a mate, right?
Yeah.
Whether man, woman, whatever floats your boat, G-Man. No need to live this life of hypocrisy. Demons don't just put things in your mind that you weren't thinking about, that you weren't reminiscing and fantasizing about. Well, guys, I think we've done this stream justice.
Yeah.
I think we've done this stream, and Phil, I want you to have a few words, just talking about people expressing themselves, right? If you're in the LGBT community, just say something about that, because you're a black heterosexual. What are your thoughts about people identifying as LGBTQ?
It is natural. It is good. It is fine, because they're human beings just like anyone else. LGBTQ plus are human beings like every other straight person, whatever. And it is nothing wrong with loving someone
And someone's.
or someone's.
It don't have to be
Nothing wrong
one.
with that. Correct. Loving someone's it does not matter. But religion tends to, especially the Abrahamic religions, try to get into your bedroom and try to control that, because as a natural desire, that's part of us as human beings, part of us as animals. It is natural. And as long as you have to have responsible adults and being responsible about what they are doing, no problem. Being safe, responsible, cool. So the church and these Abrahamic religions always get tired because it's all about control, and they know it's a natural human desire, enjoy the pleasure, but we have to control. This is how we get control over people. And it has caused more damage to people's relationships. Even when people get married, it causes serious damage to the relationships, because they're telling and make people feel it's something nasty, it is something, but yeah, they will say, oh, it's good in marriage. But when persons come to the marriage bed, it still feel awkward about it. A lot of persons feel awkward about it that are Christians and don't enjoy the wider aspects of their sexuality, of their of their desires. They don't, because now a position now is sinful. A particular position is sinful. They can't do that. Just kill the mood, kill everything. Then they don't enjoy it, and then some feel, it's procreation. And there are some churches, some countries where they claim, because of religious crap that the government panders to, that
they make
laws saying that a spouse can't rape a spouse.
Oh gosh.
I could give a perfect example. The Bahamian government says a person sued her husband on those grounds. The government granted on the grounds of cruelty, but said they couldn't grant it on the grounds of rape.
Can we do a stream on this?
Yeah, I think we can do a stream on that. It was
never heard of
I suspect we can find the
videos,
news online, and maybe some videos. Yeah, because I saw on the news in Barbados showing that in the Bahamas, and it was like, what, my gosh, right? And I know a lot, as I keep saying, in the Caribbean, because especially English-speaking Caribbean, the government pander to Christianity, promotes Christianity, and make laws supporting Christianity, which are to the detriment of minorities, to the detriment of people who want to love each other regardless of gender. And the evangelical churches, I think, keep a lot of noise about removing laws that are against the LGBTQ, against a whole set of stuff that those laws were put in place when the country was under control of the colonialists.
So do they consider themselves a Christian nation?
Yes.
Oh gosh, here we go.
They will say here in Barbados, oh, we are a Christian nation. In Bahamas, I think the person was saying, or the government was claiming they're a Christian nation. A lot of the
Wow.
Caribbean countries are claiming, oh, we're
Are
a Christian
Christian
nation,
nations.
and they're not Christian nation because you're
No.
not a Christian nation because the majority of people are Christians or claim to be Christians. It's a pluralistic society. If as long as you allow or you have people coming in or people in your country who are not Christians, it is not. And once you set it yourself as these theocracies, therein lies the trouble.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you, Luciferian
Thanks,
American.
Luciferian.
Yes, I will definitely check it out after.
It is sad what goes on here, and we can see it happening in Africa. Same thing happening in Africa where this Christianity thing trying to take over and political. Here it is too. And the pander to the Christians is not, even though you want to claim to be secular. If you're secular, be secular.
Yeah.
Stop pandering to Christianity. Stop pandering to a particular religion.
You see what
because then you really are not.
You see what the religion is doing in so many places. You see,
and,
I mean,
look
at Afghanistan now. Yeah, look at places that they want to look at America, for goodness sake.
Yeah,
Christianity is becoming something else in America.
And the thing is that even in schools here, they have brought people in to talk about abstinence only too.
Oh no way! In schools?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh,
it's ridiculous. And then as I keep saying, in the schools here, as we even saw in that video where these it was the missionaries or where they had the children standing up in the thing and singing some Christian songs or something so during a full assembly. Here, full assemblies they're Christian, is Christian devotions.
Assemblies, right. During assembly,
Christian devotions,
Christian worship.
Christian worship, proselytizing, bringing gospel groups to proselytize. They children they gotta be inside the hall. So your children don't have a choice. So if a child don't want to be in there, it has to be either it's your religion. Let's say if you're JW and you decide, you'll sit outside if the JW, but let it be another child and say if you didn't really want to take part in that, you gotta be in here.
Terrible.
It's terrible.
It is. And listen, guys, we need to promote just people being true to themselves. It's called altruism, isn't it? Altruism.
Yes. I think it's altruism.
Being true and being real to yourself.
To yourself.
No one's proven that a God exists.
Correct.
As yet, no one has. So how do they know what God will have you do? How do they know what God wants and doesn't want? How do they know that God hates sex and or all these things? How do they know that? They take money from you in the name of this God. They deny you of being your real self in the name of this non-existent God. Emancipate yourself. Save yourself
from mental slavery.
That's right. That was Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, yep.
He knew what he was talking about when he sang that song.
It's mental slavery.
Yes. Right, guys. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, everyone.
And we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow we're talking about sex. Tomorrow we are talking about sex and Christianity and religion.
I know SETS, sex.
I didn't say set. I didn't say set. Neither did I say sex. Not sex.
Sex.
I mean,
sex, not
let's
sex.
talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things. Now, baby, let's talk about sex. Hey. Okay, so we're talking about sex. All right, guys. Good night, everyone. You all
Good night,
take care.
everyone.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow.